Live from the husk of E3, it's Super Gamekast 2 with your host, Bronson Fiore.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Super Gamekast 2, the #1 podcast on the internet for video game news. I am Bronson Fiore, joined by the always awesome Aaron Reynolds.
Waking up on time just for the podcast. Keep my
me
priorities
too.
straight.
Nah, exactly. Didn't spend, do everything at the last possible minute this morning at all.
Oh, no, of course not. Why would you?
Yeah. But otherwise, I'm feeling great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been a good weekend. Been very relaxed in my case. I don't know about you guys.
Has been a good weekend for you, Emily Hooslander.
Hulslander. Remember, there is 2 L's in my name.
Huslander.
And
Slander.
that'll work. So,
Happy May Day, everyone.
yeah.
It is officially May.
Celebrate those protests. This May Day happens to happen on a weekend.
So, hey.
Protesting for workers' rights happen. That's one of the results. One of the many results. So
podcasts. That's work.
I guess you're right. Yeah. That's our work. Damn it.
Yep. So, I don't know. It's we had a
Pretty quiet news week.
We actually did.
Yeah.
Quiet-ish.
Pretty tame, and then pretty tame on what we've been playing.
Yeah.
As you go.
It's a lot of pretty chill week. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
It's a process.
So one of those pieces of news, though, everyone, was that regardless of the existence of E3, Microsoft is keeping the dream alive.
Yeah.
As they should. Because if anybody's going to keep the dream of E3 somewhat alive,
it is one of the 2 companies that made it worth a shit the last 2 years in general.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, basically ever since the pandemic started, you watched E3 for 2 reasons. It was Microsoft and Nintendo. The rest of it was just like
in that order, or does it matter?
I think it depends on the year. I think
Nintendo had a better year than Microsoft, and Microsoft had better years than Nintendo. So
it's such a bummer that Sony all left E3 because they always had really hype E3.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the Sony E3 was just always so unbelievably fucking hype.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And the thing is I don't understand why they left. I guess maybe it was the expense. Maybe it was, it could have been a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right.
But, it's just okay, this is a good way to connect with your fan. Do you have just such a lead that it doesn't matter?
Well,
is that the where we're at with it?
So, this is something I absolutely want to get into. For our audio listeners, we have a story in front here. It says Xbox and Bethesda have announced that a summer showcase will air on June 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Which is exactly when our podcast starts.
Yeah, so guess what?
Guess what you're
We're
getting that day.
Showcase.
Yeah,
you're getting a pre-show and us reacting to it live.
We'll try to keep a regular podcast going somewhere in there, but
somewhere.
Yeah. So, so what's interesting about this is E3 have been canceled physically and digitally. But there's this kind of push and pull regarding the importance of E3, which is the E3, the business organization, whatever. They've been doing some bad stuff regarding just losing all the journalists, public information, just throwing that out on the open internet.
Yeah, I was one of those people.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm now always concerned every time I get an email being like, "Hey, your X was hacked" or some shit like that.
Right. And then there was the plans to try and make it little more profitable, a little more fan centric by doing things that are like Q-tainment.
That was the last year I went.
Yeah.
Is the year that it got fucking stupid. Like that was the last year I went. Was the year that they were like, oh hey, we're gonna open it up to the fans, and that was a shit show. They literally just had E3, but then put a bunch of non-industry people in the same area.
Right.
It was such a shit show.
So I want to talk about the sweet spot of E3, which we've done a couple times, obviously, but it was a really good time, that sweet spot, which is it was an industry event. Journalists and developers met in this area, and then fans watched conferences and showcases on TV through G4 or whatever GameSpot IGN website.
Yeah. No, I remember in 2005. Yeah, I was watching a fucking like barely the size of a Yu-Gi-Oh card video.
Yep.
Of goddamn the GameSpot doing Microsoft's press conference and Nintendo's and Sony's.
Nice. Yeah.
That's what it was. I remember it vividly.
I remember tuning into I think Tech TV did it. And then when it changed to G4. Yeah, I remember I took time out of school. I would skip classes to go see.
I remember in 2009, I had comp lit when the Sony press conference was happening. So I just watched the Sony press conference while I took my comp lit final.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. It was just a fun time, and like it obviously it's about like showcasing these games and like selling them to you, but we love video games so much that it became this like celebratory thing. It was like exciting to see the future of video games here.
Right. It was totally like, here, I'm going to watch this 90-minute commercial for PlayStation or Xbox or whoever, but I don't care because it was super weird and fun and awesome, and it is what it is.
I do, but then I want to address, because you brought up the Sony stuff, which I think is very important as to why some people might want E3 to end, which is in order to have a showcase for E3, especially for these AAA titles that they're working on, they need to make a demo, and those demos tend to be a vertical slice of what they are trying to do with this new game. And you have to ask of developers to make this standalone demo using bits and pieces of the game that they're working on, and get it out in time for E3.
Well, I mean, yeah, because let's all look at remember Halo 2, Halo 2, they made like a whole level that was just total bullshit.
Right.
So,
because they just didn't have what was necessary to show. I guess I have a theory that's why in 2000, basically since the Phil Spencer years at Microsoft, they tend to show stuff that's out within the next year. Right.
Because they just want to cut cost and save, just show an actual level from the game.
Right.
That's, which is great as someone who is, I think that's better anyway.
It is.
Because, rather than because how many times have we watched that Sony press conference and then whatever they show either A, doesn't come out for 5 years, which is always fucking irritating as shit.
Sure.
Or if it does come out, it doesn't look like what they showed. And Nintendo has been the best about this, because Nintendo, with the exception of Zelda, their stuff is almost always, hey, this is out in the next 6 months.
Right.
In most cases. There are some exceptions where delays happen, but it's usually hey, Smash Ultimate. They're yeah, here's Smash Ultimate, everyone is here, this is really cool, guess what, it's out in 5 months, November.
Right.
Check it. And I always thought that was the best way to do things. And does it always lead to the most exciting press conference? No, not at all. But I've actually had I remember Thomas and I got into a huge argument about this, because by the time I went to my last E3, I was just so sick of Sony's bullshit.
Right.
Like, I was so sick of, like, okay, yeah, all the things in that press conference are, like, amazing wish list level games.
Mhm.
But, like, most of them aren't out until, like, years and years from now.
Yeah.
Like my first E3, that's when they did the Final Fantasy VII Remake reveal.
Oh, God, that's right.
And that shit was not out until 6 years later.
Yep.
Like,
didn't need to do that.
You had
Not
no reason
really,
to do that.
no.
You had no reason. No fucking reason.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Last of Us. Like, we saw Last of Us 2 at like 4 E3s, 3 E3s. Like, we saw Spider-Man at like 3 or 4 E3s.
Mhm.
Like, you know, if anything, it just kind of knocks the wind out of your sails.
Which, I mean, the fact that it doesn't speaks to how great those games are when they show them off. But, like, they just don't need that. They don't need it.
Yeah, no, they don't. 110% they don't. And it's like, the thing is, though, is it accomplishes, it like helps establish a narrative.
Right.
Is the thing.
Right.
Like, that's what it does. It helps, like, okay, oh man, Sony just dominated E3 again, and like, I brought up the fact that I was just like, I guess, like, but when is that shit coming out? Which is why my last E3, I gave Sony like a C-, because I made a rule after the first 3 E3s, excuse me, that I'm only giving you credit for the game in the press conference if the game has a date or a tentative date.
Oh shit.
Okay.
So if you come in here and you're like, someday, like Sony has a real good habit of doing, I'm gonna be like, oh, cool, you didn't announce that. I don't care.
The common rule I've always abided by is I need to see gameplay. Give me gameplay.
That's even stricter than mine.
Yeah,
but yes.
Yeah. If you're not going to show me gameplay, like, whatever. I mean, yeah, you can announce a thing without gameplay for sure, but it's like okay, it's cool. Like, it's cool that I know that Wolverine game's coming, but I don't know a goddamn thing about it. So, like, as far as I'm concerned,
right.
it might as well not exist.
Why do I care?
Right.
Yeah. Which to be fair is a fucking great question.
Right.
Because, like, I last year they showed that, like, Wolverine thing, and they're like, oh man, we're getting it's gonna be like Spider-Man. Which is like, they didn't show anything.
They didn't show anything, man.
They show nothing.
All we are running on is that one Wolverine Origins game, which was better than it should have been. Like,
yeah.
it showed the gameplay promise of Wolverine, but that's great. But they have said nothing about any of that.
And it's made by Insomniac, they haven't had a bad game in their track record.
That's true. Yeah, Insomniac's fantastic. So, like, yes, that's good, but, like, I need to see it. I need to see it with my eyes.
Right, exactly. And they're just like, nah, fuck it, just like, it's same thing. Like, they're like, oh, we're remaking SWOTOR, guys. They're remaking SWOTOR. It's just like, okay,
I need
great.
To see it.
Calm down.
Show me the fucking game then.
You could show me all the CG you want. If it ends up like looking like fucking Diablo or something, I don't know.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, you can get excited over cinematics. Like, I love the Blizzard cinematics.
I don't mind
like,
that.
They're great.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, they're fun. They're a fun thing.
Yes.
Like Final Fantasy and like that period we had during, like, the PS2 generation where every company was, like, having, like, a giant fucking who can make the best CG competition.
Yeah,
that was super fun.
Yep.
But it wasn't like, it wasn't why you were there. It wasn't like what fucking brought you, other than, like, scamming people who didn't know better. Like, I guess it did that. That accomplished that goal, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't.
So, I don't know. I could see. and then, so Sony backing out was, a number of things, but like
I thought that was the death kiss.
I know.
I was just like, oh, it's done. GG.
Sony
GG.
backing out
GG.
while they are like
GG.
the front runner of video game companies. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like, okay, well, because we've all said that, like, if you want to be technical about it, all these companies can do this on their own time when they're ready. And they'll watch. This does not need to happen. They don't need to go to E3. This doesn't need to happen this weekend of June. The whole reason that people like doing that is, if I remember correctly, like industry people, like developers and journalists, like to have a little, space in the year where they come and meet and talk. But
yeah, it's great for networking.
And then
it's fantastic for networking.
And then it's fun for the fans because it's like it's this one moment. I've said it a number of times, but like if video games were pro wrestling, like this is the I don't know, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble. This is one of your big 4 events for gamers to come together. The other being like Game of the Year in December. And then you got like your PAX events and things like that happening
as like your smaller,
Yep. They're announcing a little bit here and there, but it's not like these other two.
Yeah, in fact, they literally just reuse the E3 booth.
Exactly, they spend all that money
for some inside baseball for everyone.
Right, which is perfectly fine. I don't think anyone cares.
No, those are fucking expensive. Get your money's worth.
That's kind of the amazing thing about E3 is that like it was clearly the business wanted to make some money, so they allowed like the casual people in, because the casual people, they can, if they need to, they can go to one of the PAXs and they get that E3 experience.
And a better experience.
And it's all for the people rather than like trying to fit journalists in and other developers in.
And like as a journalist, you're just pissed.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, I need to get this work done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have an appointment, I have this, I have that, and you're just fucking annoyed the entire time, basically. Like that's what it is. You're fucking just like you're just like, God damn it! All these goddamn yellow badges in the goddamn way when I just need to get to where I need to go.
That almost sounded like a slur. That was
Oh no, there were names.
Goddamn yellow badges.
Fucking people use mudbloods, normies. It was just because like look, we look and there were some high profile people using that language.
I know. Yes, you're right. Look, I'm just saying. It was not good. That was not a good move by E3, unless it got them more money than, as far as they're concerned, it was. But yeah, so E3's been slowly imploding as an organization, which has meant the threatening of this concentrated weekend in the summer where people can come together and celebrate games. It was like it would start on a Saturday, end on a Thursday. Yep.
And it would typically be, a full week of, cool ass shit.
Right. So the names that we would typically watch, you had the big 3. You had Xbox, Sony, Nintendo. You had EA. You had Bethesda, which is now a part of Xbox, which is going to be a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Square Enix, and then
Square
Ubisoft.
Enix usually had one, and then Ubisoft had one too.
And then you had the PC Game Showcase in later years.
Right.
So like you had a lot.
Yeah, and then you had, especially in these later years, you had like Devolver had like an online thing.
Oh yeah, Devolver Digital,
which was nice. That was a good little show. Last I watched,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Those are always fun. Yeah.
So with this, Xbox and Bethesda have reserved time on June 12th. That's 2 of the names that we typically see at an E3. Do we know if Nintendo's doing anything?
You gotta imagine they're gonna do a direct, right?
I would hope that's all they need to do. They don't really need to do. Nintendo was thinking ahead on this. And it was like,
oh yeah, no, it was such a sad day when they got rid of their E3 show.
Yeah.
But like even at the time, you knew, oh, this is the future.
Right.
This is it. This is the one. This is what does it.
And then they still delivered on like the live E3 experience by having the Treehouse stuff. And then there was like 8 hours or whatever it was of people at Nintendo of America showing off all these games in depth. And
and if you were like, and it was like gameplay. Like if you were, it wasn't like bullshit,
right?
Which was always nice. And their booth, like for the people who were there, their booth, like almost everything they showed, like except occasional one-offs, like like Breath of the Wild, was playable.
Yeah.
Like, well, so why the fuck would you like? And here's the thing, like in my opinion, the next real big step for E3 should have been taking that attendee experience home.
Right.
So like there's like no like okay, you're already making these demos. Why not just throw them on Steam and Xbox Live and et cetera, if you have them playable on the show floor anyway?
Didn't they do that last year?
They did some games last year.
Some games, yeah.
But yeah, I mean like the full thing. Like, and if you want to put it behind a paywall, that's shitty, but I understand.
Right.
Like, okay, like let's say, hey, if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, everything that we showed at the Microsoft press conference that had a gameplay demo is playable.
Right.
How sick would that be? How fucking unbelievably sick would that be?
That would be clutch.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, that would be clutch.
Man,
I don't know why companies never think of this shit, or maybe they do and they just don't think it's worth their time and effort. But you've already made the demo.
Yeah.
The demo is made.
Yep.
It works.
Why not show it to the general public? Like,
there's a way to do this digitally.
At the attendance.
Yeah. There's a way to do this. And this naturally brings me to Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley and his Summer Games Fest, which is happening.
When is that happening?
Oh, thou internet, coming soon. Thanks, Jeff Keighley.
Oh, thanks, guys.
So, all right.
Real helpful.
Well, it says here in the Summer Game Fest schedule, upcoming events include June 12th, Xbox and Bethesda Showcase. So,
it's probably part of it.
It's probably part of it. June 10th, Tribeca Games Spotlight. I don't know what Tribeca Games does, but that's June 10th. So that's part of the weekend. So Jeff Keighley gets it. So I think that will happen around that time. I think last year they were a bit early. But their big reveal was like some decent showing of Elden Ring, or at least like a CG thing, right?
Yeah, and you know what's cool about it? Like, I want to play Elden Ring soon.
Yeah.
And like the thing that I had a $50 Amazon gift card.
All right.
And I really thought about it. I was just like, like I was really thinking about it, like,
Yeah.
But so it's one of those things where like. Where in the case of that, it's like, okay, well, I mean, you're already doing the Elden Ring showcase. You're already, you already, like, I don't see why this just couldn't move to a third party that is run by Jeff Keighley, but is he going to get all the announcements that you would get from all these separate shows? And then you have the bummer of, like, it was just cool to have these 3 separate 2-hour shows to look forward to.
Yep.
And if you wanted to go a little further, you could, I guess.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. So yeah, it was really fun. Especially I want to say it was like Sunday is when it would be like, all right, morning is Microsoft, and then you got EA, and then you got Ubisoft, and then you got Sony, and it's like this day-long thing. Like, it was literally like a Super Bowl for gamers. You go like to the store and grab drinks and chips or whatever, and then come back, and then you hang for a day.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was so good.
So Jeff Keighley seems to be wanting to put Summer Game Fest around that time. They have not announced a specific day. You got Xbox now having announced June 12th. So I'm hoping, because E3 is not involved, the organization is not involved in any of this. The hope is they all concentrate around this weekend, because if we do, the spirit of E3 is here.
Yeah, no, and then it sucks for the industry because you don't have that like setup of a shit ton of people
Right.
going to one place/spot. But I get it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping it all comes together because it's a really cool moment for everyone. The worst loss in this, even in the best case scenario of this, the worst loss is we will not have live demos breaking or really cringy people trying to get the audience worked up about something that is just not going to get worked up about.
Right. No.
You're not going to get Aisha Tyler talking about Girlwood anymore.
Or Weed. You're not going to have Weed 3.
You're not going to have Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx high as balls trying to play an EA game.
You're not going to have... You ever want to know what the bottom of the Avatar's foot looks like? Well, there it is. That's just... Yeah, no, it's...
The Kinect was a treat in itself. Every time it would go up, every time you had to do either something broke or you had like the Skittles, come here. Or when it was Project Natal and you had that like creepy boy that you were interacting with.
Oh no!
The Kinect was bad the whole time.
Milo.
Oh my god, that was his name.
God.
Yes.
That was a fucking nightmare.
Oh my god.
And then that last year, did not have much to write home about. It was Keanu Reeves showed up, which was incredible.
I mean, it's Keanu.
It's Keanu, and he played into
Enough
it.
said.
You're beautiful, and then
breathtaking is what he said.
Yeah,
yes,
just
breathtaking.
Like, you're
that's
breathtaking.
It. Yes,
yeah.
That was at the height of like Keanu Reeves' love, and he absolutely capitalized on it.
I mean, yeah.
And then I think it was a Ubisoft conference. They brought out a dog, and it's like, "This is my dog. Now let's talk about the game." And the cameras are all concentrated on the dog. It's like, yeah, no, you're right.
It was a cute dog.
It was.
Okay, God.
No, it was. They knew.
And they capitalized on that shit.
Yeah.
Like without question.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it. But there wasn't as much fun, ridiculous nonsense that broke.
Yeah.
But oh well. We'll live without it.
Doesn't mean I'll like it.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Yeah, Bethesda's still working on stuff. I don't know if they're gonna announce a lot. It says here Machine Game, which I believe is part of Bethesda, is working on an Indiana Jones game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Death Loop coming to Game Pass eventually.
Because their timed exclusive with PS5 is going to expire sometime around then.
Yep.
And also Ninja Theory is working on what is that?
It says
Hellblade
here
2.
We got Hellblade 2, Undead Lab, State of Decay 3. Perfect Dark is in a bad state right now in terms of development, so I don't know if we're gonna hear anything from them.
They're like Ubisoft's Beyond Good and Evil 2. They're in development hell.
Right. Yes.
And have been for a while.
Initiative.
Still pissed at Ubisoft.
Yeah. Fable reboot still being worked on. Still
that's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Avowed is still being worked on by Obsidian.
Fable.
Yeah, Fable. Everwild. Remember Everwild releasing that trailer? It's like, okay, that's not gameplay, and it's like, yeah, we had to break that whole thing down and start again. Like, cool.
Right.
All right.
Awesome. Just awesome.
Yep. So, yeah, last year talked about revealed Outer Worlds 2, and then Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, that Forza reveal, that was wild.
That was good.
I was like, wait, what?
Yep.
Already?
Well, what?
Like
Okay.
What? Okay. Sure, I guess.
What if we gave you another map full of very rich 20-somethings that can just drive anywhere with no consequences? That sounds great.
Awesome.
Right, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I'm here. Give me
all the things.
God damn it.
Yeah, give me. I will happily go do so.
That's that. Yeah, this is the most interesting thing about Xbox and Bethesda announcing is that, like, I find they have not been releasing very much. A lot has been getting pushed.
No, dude, they put a lot out last year. We got Halo, Forza, Psychonauts, Age of Empires, the console version of Flight Sim. Let's see, the console version of Gears Tactics.
That came out last year?
Yeah, it did.
Huh. Okay.
Like, and it was, like, was it the fucking craziest year ever? No, but and then Sea of Thieves is still.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves is still going.
A thing.
So we got to see if there's maybe they announce a new season. I don't know what the schedule is on Sea of Thieves. We've more or less retired Sea of Thieves from this channel.
Well, yeah, we have one last thing we're eventually gonna do, and then we're done.
Yeah,
and that's eventually. And then we're done. No more.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all you get. We got Pirate Legend, Chapter 5 of the Jack Sparrow shit, and then we're checking out.
Yep.
Game over.
Maybe they do some event. We may want to jump in and see what it is.
Yeah, yes. Depends. If they do an event that seems crazy, or like Ray and I get the PvP bug, sure, why not?
Yep.
But otherwise, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. But so there's a number of things that they could announce, but I imagine a lot of these are far away. So I wonder what this showcase is gonna be. Obviously they're ongoing titles, so like Sea of Thieves, I imagine they'll have a little update.
Halo,
Halo's definitely gonna get an update.
Stuff.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of like other ones you could have, right? Like, They're
doing anything for Gears of War? Are they doing?
They are making Gears of War.
Are they?
I am willing to bet that Gears 6. I actually had this discussion on Twitter today with someone. I am so willing to bet that we are going to get a Gears of War 6 this year.
Oh, really?
This year? Okay.
Not announced this year.
Oh, okay. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It's been a couple of years, hasn't it? Since Gears 5?
It's been a good while,
Gears Infinite.
Gears Infinite.
I mean,
that actually makes sense.
Put that desert sailing to good use.
I was gonna say, I think about it, you make that your brand for all your Forza Infinite, right?
Yeah.
That could be, that could actually end up being a really good thing.
I mean, look, MMOs have kind of provided a thing for especially World of Warcraft has provided that open world, just keep expanding and expanding and expanding on it. People get invested in that world.
Don't leave. You can't really do that for Halo or Gears, but
I mean, yeah. Oh, there's a second ring. Shit. We're just adding more rings on top of rings.
I mean, there's in the lore there are 7. So
what happens if you put them all together in one spot?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And then you have to jump the warthog between them.
Okay. I'm down.
So, all right. So anyway, the spiritual E3 is here, even if E3 itself
spiritual
is not
E3.
here. Maybe,
I like the name.
Maybe we should call it something else. If this is what continues and the E3 business dies, we have to call the event something else. I guess Summer Game Fest. It all depends on Jeff Keighley wrangling them all in and taking pseudo ownership of the weekend.
And I guess maybe that's what it takes. They're just tired of dealing with the fucking it's the ESA
right
that does that shit.
Yeah.
I think.
Whoever the fuck handles the E3 bullshit.
Let's see here. Internet, tell me. Nope. ESA.
Yeah, it is ESA.
Yep.
Okay.
Their site says E3 2022. See you next year.
Oh no. Oh no.
Rewatch the E3 2021 broadcast and enjoy the fun all over again. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Awkward.
Man, dude. Yeah. So I don't know. It's still interesting to see how this will shake out, but it seems like it's beginning to form.
you want to talk about like E3 shit that I'm gonna miss from when I was like real young was like the magazine. Like you'd get like Game Informer or Game Pro or even Nintendo Power, and it would be like
and have a 30-page spread.
Yeah, it would be like
all the shit that was shown at E3.
Like,
I remember those Game Informer issues too.
Yeah,
I used to look at those with my brother.
You know, they'd rank like the top 150 games of E3.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I remember I got like a game. I want to say it was a Game Pro in like 04, and like it's just like Metal Gear 3, like World of Warcraft, Halo 2, Half-Life 2. And it's like, God, it's a beautiful world. And like, yeah, like Xbox had a great year
back then.
You know, and to be fair, Xbox is poised to have a really good year this year. I could totally see Forza coming out. I know they're rebuilding Motorsport from the ground up. Like that's what they've said.
Yeah.
But so like I very easily see like we're us getting a new Motorsport, us getting just us getting a lot of good shit. But you know, obviously we'll see. They could fuck it up, but
yeah, no, it'll be interesting. They can all still come together and be what we want it to be, but it all depends on how it shakes out.
It's very obvious that this year their big win is Starfield. Like that's their big W.
That's
right?
where they're going. It's that and Elder Scrolls, right? So it's like,
well, yeah, I don't think Elder Scrolls is coming this year.
No, not at all. I'm just.
But
they had that one teaser trailer like years ago.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Haven't seen anything since.
Play another one. Here's another one.
Here's at least the concept of what it is, not just a big open.
Yeah. Here's a dragon.
Open world type shit.
God.
Yeah, like we actually bothered to do something.
Yep. We'll see. I'm excited. It seems like people are trying to make it happen, despite the business itself not being there to officially make it happen.
Which it's literally just a money sink, and like you think of the time and effort you save just by going online and saying, okay, we're doing the Sony State of Play or the fucking Microsoft whatever, you know, like
I know. And
it is a bummer. I agree.
I would understand why they would kill E3, kill the summer, event, but also, man, it's fun. It's just fun.
It is absolutely. I am sad about it as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where just like on the other side of it though, it's really nice that I don't have to like take off work. And, like I don't have to go to my boss. I need these 3 days in June off. Why?
Right.
Stuff.
It would be really cool if just set up the thing, whoever's ready to show something can show stuff, and then people who aren't ready, they get someone who's like part of the dev team and come in and like just chat about where they're at, what they can talk about.
Exactly.
Just do a more casual thing. Like that was always what was fun about the Giant Bomb interviews, was getting the devs in and talking about that stuff.
Which it was the literal best,
Yeah. Just getting Jeff and Phil Spencer having a talk for like an hour is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the I remember like watching that because it's either the year after they started there, or the last year I was there was like I couldn't listen to it because I was fucking busy as hell.
Yeah.
But like the second that I was in that car to LA or home from LA, I told like Ray and Thomas, shut the fuck up, we're listening to this. I do not care.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want the rest of the way, but I do not give a shit.
We need to hear Phil talk about Phantasy Star.
Yeah.
So.
How Sega's going to get bought by them eventually.
Right. There's interest. There is interest. Mm-hmm. God damn it. It'd be cool.
Yeah, quite a bit, actually.
I've been hearing, there was that news story last week or the week before that was potential AAA Crazy Taxi Jet Set Radio.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see Xbox or whoever put big money behind Sega, and Sega make some big AAA pushes with some of their old like 90s IP bring that chaotic energy back.
Oh, that would be so nice.
It would be so good.
So nice.
Make a good Nights into Dreams.
Okay, let's not get crazy now.
No, you can do it. I'm telling you.
Let's do it.
God damn it.
Come on.
Are you going to tell me that's a high bar?
Well, now that I think about it.
You take the character, you take the world, and you say, hey, this gameplay could be better. What if we made fun gameplay?
What if we it's what I always say to League players about Heroes of the Storm. It's like, okay, imagine League of Legends, but if you made it good.
Right. Look, it can be done. You know,
it is possible.
You'll have to change stuff around, but you can do it. That's an IP that people recognize for some reason. So
I think it's because it was like one of this like
it was the
standouts
Dreamcast,
on the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Shenmue's had their anime going. They just like finished the first season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that like Shenmue had, you know, a whole game, like a sequel.
They had a
like
whole game that came out.
Yeah, apparently it was mediocre, but
yeah,
you know, it still happened.
It happens.
Rough.
It's what they wanted. So and Sonic's, you know, going strong.
It's like Sega is carried by Kiryu and Sonic.
Yep.
And now Ichiban.
Right.
Ichiban.
Yep.
You know, like it's like and to be fair, I absolutely love that for years video game companies like fought streamers and streaming and that kind of content.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely love it because like fucking how many people ended up playing Yakuza 0 when it came out because of that fucking PS4 share feature, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Like tons, like literal tons. It was, you know. And why wouldn't you? Because that game is fucking awesome. And
yeah,
you know, but yeah, like I don't.
If
you know,
yeah, God damn it, it's.
Is it going to be? Is it going to be the same? No. Is it going to be good? Yes.
Right. I'm hoping so. Let's wait and see here.
I have low expectations, but I also like. I want to hope.
Do you think they're showcasing? Because I didn't read in here. Do you think they're showcasing at like Redmond, Washington, like their own little theater filled with Xbox employees, or do you think they're doing like a Nintendo Direct?
I think it's gonna be their normal online showcase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're gonna do the fucking, you know, the us Kool-Aid drinkers over at the company.
Yeah, I mean they did that for like console reveals and stuff, so I don't know. But when it comes to having to showcase how a video game plays, I imagine they're gonna take full advantage of like, let's not break anything. Here's this pre-recorded thing we did in like May.
Here's this like pre-recorded thing we did a month ago to make sure it works.
Yep.
Like yeah, no, and to be fair, that's probably better for everyone.
No, it is.
And,
yeah,
you know,
Nintendo Directs really showcased how you can do this fine and still have it be fun. And, you know,
make a worthwhile experience, not a fucking waiting nightmare.
Yeah.
Stress some poor fucking programmer out on stage.
Yeah.
It's like I wonder like if the programmers actually like doing it, or they're just like fucking goddamn it.
I mean, I imagine it varies, right? It
varies by the programmer, I'm sure.
Yeah, like the programmer, the artist, whoever they fucking convinced to go up there.
Yeah.
It's like, who wants to get crucified on the internet today? Come on, let's go.
Well, you guys don't have phones? Yeah. Yeah.
The best part is about that. Like, the best part about that shit is that game is coming out. They announced like this. They announced the beta is coming soon, and they're also announced, and we're doing a PC client.
Oh my god.
Which, like, to be fair, it's like, okay, maybe that's just new Blizzard.
Right.
You know, maybe that's just, all right, they got all the shitty old management out of there. And to be fair, like, I could see why that guy was super frustrated and said that shit.
Yeah, given the way that had been going, yeah.
Like the entire, I remember when that happened, like, yeah, should he have phrased it that way and said it that way and been a dick at BlizzCon? No. But, okay, you've spent, like, the past, couple of years working on this project that you think is really cool, like, oh, Diablo Mobile. That is a neat idea in a fucking vacuum.
Yeah.
And you bring it out, and just everybody is shitting on it before even giving it a chance.
Yep.
Like, I totally get how maybe that they wouldn't be happy about this.
Right.
Like, and to be fair, that guy's probably happy that it's a meme at least.
Dude, I just saw the Diablo Twitter account like make that same joke in the middle of like Musk buying Twitter, and like Diablo's like Twitter was hell before and it's hell now, and like then made a joke about the having phones in the comments. Like it's come full circle. Everyone's like whatever.
Oh, once again, the new version of Blizzard that has been like the new MO has been the fact that, like, so there's been a Warcraft lore thing going on recently where like everyone's wondering what they're fucking doing with that giant sword in the middle of the planet.
Okay.
That happened during the end of Legion. And like we obviously didn't take we half took care of it in Battle for Azeroth.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shadowlands we didn't have the opportunity for obvious reasons.
Right. Yes.
And like they add like multiple, because they've been doing the press tour this week where like Asmongold actually got an interview.
Oh, right. Yes.
Which like I was like, what?
Right.
I remember like Preach on Allcraft this week was like, how did you do it? Are Asmongold, are you not an asshole anymore? Like, are they willing to like work with you? Have you been a good boy?
God damn it.
And like they've been answering a lot of tough questions. Like it's been they've given me a lot of hope. Like, because they did the announcement, a lot of it was promising, but then like the past week of these lengthy interviews, like these 30-minute to hour-long interviews with different like streamers and members of the community and on Twitter. They didn't just do it with the normal people who drink the Kool-Aid either.
Right.
Like your Taliesin's and Evatels, your people like that. Like, they went to Asmon, who's been like super critical, right?
Right.
Like they went to, they offered Preach, but Preach said, I'm not really doing Warcraft content now. Like I play the game in my free time, but until you get your shit sorted, I don't want to make content for this anymore.
Sure.
And that's why he's doing Final Fantasy content.
Got it.
And like just so much hope is in that community right now, but they memed on it because they're like, Asmon at the end of the interview, and I'm sure this is, I think in almost every interview this sword has been mentioned. So like during the Asmongold one, he's like, yeah, that sword's in the Legion. Do we gotta do anything about it? And then the game director, the I guess R Yoshi P equivalent, but typically has not been as charming.
Sure.
Said, I'm sorry, what sword?
Very good.
And now that is just a meme in the Warcraft community. Just
cool.
So yeah, no, it's and the Microsoft buyout obviously has a lot of hope. Speaking of Microsoft,
right? Yeah.
No, like I've been actively playing this week, and I kind of wish I would have played this patch sooner.
Right.
Because they took out a lot of the friction and removed a lot of the bullshit systems.
Nice.
Like there's only been like one thing that I've experienced where I'm just like, oh, that's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But compared to like every other system being that's a pretty fucking huge room for improvement.
I forgot. Didn't Activision have a showcase at E3?
Not really, typically.
Okay, they just would choose like we're gonna show Call of Duty at this conference.
Yeah, they typically would show Call of Duty at the front runner, and then occasionally, and like all the Blizzard stuff would go at BlizzCon, so it didn't matter.
Right, they have their own convention.
Yeah, so and then I forget the other one. So,
all right.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're jumping back and forth across a number of topics. But Xbox and Bethesda, June 12th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. That'll be.
I'm excited. Can't wait to do the podcast with you guys. It's gonna be great.
No, our podcast will just basically be us watching that. So
I am so pumped for that. It's gonna be
a really fun day.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be a fun day. And depending on the times, you know, what else gets announced during that weekend, I don't know, you may see more of us.
Yeah. No, because I mean, considering the Activision Blizzard merger, do you think they just invite Blizz on to do something?
I don't see, you know, like, why not?
It's like Diablo 4 entered Friends and Family Alpha this past month.
Right.
Did it really?
Oh, we're creeping up on D4, everybody.
Well, yeah, there's that, and especially like this Blizzard stuff, Activision Blizzard stuff has been public. Like that stuff has been getting out there and involving like Gavin Newsom being shitty with body codec, and like there's some stuff going on. So I can't think of you got BlizzCon. Like that's big, but
that's canceled this year though.
Oh, god damn it.
Is it really?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, they're not even doing a BlizzCon online like they did during the pandemic and the year after the pandemic was going.
Well, damn.
Shit.
Which is a bummer because A, I love watching BlizzCon, and B, not only do I love watching BlizzCon, but I absolutely adore the fact that if you pay for BlizzCon online, you get a bunch of free shit in all of Blizzard's games.
Right.
This is true. This is very true.
Like, I have a sick as fuck bunch of Warcraft mounts from those goddamn press conferences.
Nice.
Yeah,
I don't know. They could show something, but if they're canceling BlizzCon, I don't know. I don't know what they're feeling like doing. Maybe they have something ready for Diablo 4 and they just decide to show it at one of the conferences because I don't know.
I mean, you know what's interesting? I don't know if Diablo 4 is getting a Switch port or not. I know it's going to be on console. I'll have to look at that. But I mean, like, man, how fucking Diablo 3 did great on the Switch. Like, yeah, they did really well.
Sure.
Which makes sense because that's a perfect game to play in bed and grind out shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, and also, like, man, Hearthstone Switch, how great would that be?
I can't believe they haven't done that yet.
That's
surprised.
pretty shocking they haven't done that.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. You have that going on. You have you know, so they have a lot of stuff in the works. Like Overwatch 2 is in beta right now.
Right.
And
hasn't that been in beta for a while?
No, like literally just this month. It's been
it's been announced. It was announced.
It's been announced over a year ago.
People have been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. Like it's one of those things where you know, you have Overwatch 2's in beta right now, and it's being very favorably received. The switch to 5v5 is 6v6 has been apparently a big win.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Along with that, Diablo 4 is running. World of Warcraft is obviously, you know, doing what World of Warcraft does.
As it does.
You know, so the hope is that, you know, that they a lot of that stuff turns out good. Oh, and of course, like I said, Diablo Immortal is going to be out in June for those who want to play mobile Diablo, which
well,
I mean, I'll check it out. I'll check it out, like, if anything, out of fucking morbid curiosity, you know.
Yeah, I'd say you check it out just for the sake of actually seeing it.
Well, yeah, especially because it's free, you know.
Yeah,
like that's like, it's like I'll download it on my iPhone. I'll check out the PC client to let's see what the differences are, all that shit.
Right.
I actually have Diablo 3 this weekend, which we'll get to when
we're playing. Yeah. All right. So we've been talking a lot of Activision. So I would like us to skip to our Activision story.
Great.
Up here.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're already here. So Activision Blizzard loses 60 million monthly active users in the past year.
To be fair, most of it was COD.
Most of it was COD and
That's what
Battlefield.
I find really interesting. So the company had 372 million monthly active users as of March 31st, which is incredible already, down from 435 million last year. These numbers are insane.
Right,
yeah.
but like think about how big COD is, right?
Right.
Like COD is the best-selling game, or like top 2 best-selling game like every year, right? And then it's on everything but the Nintendo platform. So it's on PC, it's on all versions of Xbox, all versions of PlayStation. There's now a phone version of COD.
Right.
It's like, okay, now it didn't help that World of Warcraft had its mass exodus. Like, I'm sure the fact that Diablo hasn't had meaningful new content in about a year, like the fact that they're running an ARPG and an MMO at the same time,
Right.
the fact that Overwatch is great but it's stale now because of how fucking old it is. Like Overwatch has hit what I call the Counter-Strike point.
Yeah.
Which is just, dude, it's just so old. No one cares.
Right.
No one cares anymore. Like, unless you're already in, if you're already in the cult, great. But otherwise, nah, no one cares.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I totally get it. Like I'm
just sitting here. I didn't realize, no one told me this, and I realized no one told me this because I'm not playing Call of Duty. Snoop Dogg's just in Call of Duty now.
Yeah.
And he's smoking a fat blunt while firing like a machine gun that's got like some sweet paint on it. He's got this purple outfit going on that's badass. This is the coolest shit.
Bear.
He's shooting and he's got like green mist coming out of his gun. And then here's Snoop Dogg. He jumps off his motorcycle and slides towards the cliff while firing his gun. I love that Snoop Dogg just inserts himself into any video game he feels like because he's Snoop Dogg.
And it works.
It works. It's so good.
Snoop Dogg has done what all rich people should do, which is, okay, I'm super rich. I should just do whatever the fuck I want for the rest of my life.
I mean, yeah.
But it's not doing like shit that like takes advantage of people and like works them into the ground. It's just like, I want to be in this video game that I play. Can I do that? And then the company and like the developers are like, hell yeah, I'll make a Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, no. Like,
work together on designing a gun, and yeah.
I want to get Gabriel Iglesias high.
Right, yeah.
I want to be on this TV show, or I want to do a cooking show, or whatever it is, whatever the fuck it is.
Yes.
Like, he's dude's just doing whatever the fuck he wants because he's fucking Snoop Dogg, and he's also a multi.
Have your own wine.
Have my own wine, whatever.
Like, I'm gonna put out a reggae album and go by Snoop Lion for like a year,
and then stop that, and then like he's doing good.
Yeah, like it's what all rich people should aspire to.
I mean, you should be putting your wealth towards fixing issues in society that are not being solved by other means, but like considering the bar that we're at, like Snoop Dogg is doing good stuff. I love this.
Like dude. And to be fair, I've heard Snoop Dogg does a bunch of stuff for his like communities back in LA.
I totally believe that. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, like he does his part as far as that's concerned too. But like it's just like, all right, let's say this takes off and we get like multi-millionaire money, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say that would happen. Yeah, I'd be doing the same thing. Like, if I was like Asmongold famous, like I'd call up the Warcraft developers and be like, yeah, can I get an NPC?
Sure.
Like what's it gonna take to get me an NPC?
Yeah.
Like make me like a warrior trainer. There you go.
That's cool. All right, so I have to stop looking at the Snoop Dogg trailer. Let's see.
As much as you love it.
I love it. It's not enough to get me to play Call of Duty, but I love it. So a lot of this is due to Call of Duty, huh?
Yeah, so it's Warzone had lower engagement. That's the biggest one, is what they've said. What they're saying is, so what happened? Activision said Call of Duty Vanguard sold worse than Black Ops Cold War. Additionally, Warzone had lower engagement. Call of Duty Mobile, however, performed about as well as it did in prior in regards to net bookings. Total net bookings for Call of Duty series across console and PC has declined.
Interesting.
As for Blizzard, the company's results were down year over year due to the lack of a major release. the company is looking ahead. They have the new WoW expansion, Wrath of the Lich King. Additionally, Diablo Immortal is out in June. And then development on Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 is, quote, progressing well. Also, as for the Candy Crush division, it jumped up 8%.
Sure. Yeah.
But no one that we work with give a shit about that. But
of course, but
yeah, whatever.
Interesting to see Call of Duty numbers down.
I mean, like, it has a ton of competition now.
Sure.
Like, it has legitimate competition in a big way now. And I think that is a huge part of that. And why that is. I think that's probably honestly the biggest part of why that is. Combined with the fact that it is a new generation, man, a new set of 18 and 20 somethings, 18-year-olds and 20 somethings who, probably like it. They probably have a good time with it.
Yeah.
But it's what are all their friends playing most likely? Fortnite.
Right. Or if they're deep in like Apex or Valorant.
Right, like Valorant and League. Like League is still like super popular. Like I had a 23-year-old who's at my job who whenever we have like free time is like watching League streams.
Oh.
That's what he's doing, is watching League streams.
Okay.
It's actually what's really fascinating to me is like the we talk about MMOs a lot here.
Yes.
And we're big fans, and we're big fans of different parts of the MMO scene and everything. And the thing that I find fascinating about it, I guess, is what I'll call it, is the fact that the younger generation, for the most part, it doesn't seem to be their bag. Like you go and you look at like a World of Warcraft, you go into Twitch, and this is Twitch, which is that is the most hardcore, the hardcore audience.
Sure.
But, like, you look at MMO and it's like World of Warcraft is still popular, but who are the people streaming it and who are the people watching it? It's a bunch of like neckbeard gamers,
Right.
Neckbeard gamers, like Asmon's 30, Swifty's 30, Mitch Jones like late 20s. And their audience is around the same age. Final Fantasy trends maybe a little younger.
A little.
But still, like, not much.
Yeah.
Lost Ark, same thing. ESO, a little different. And I'm like... And I think it's partially just because that the MMO genre kind of blew up when we were, like, kids and teenagers.
Yeah.
And back then, there was a lot of novelty to it.
Right.
Because of the fact that, like, you have like this bit, like, it's this game where I'm like always connected to my friends in this big open space.
Yeah.
But now, like, every game is connected.
I was gonna say, like games took notes from MMOs at that time and slowly started integrating them into other games.
Like a progression system.
Yep.
Like I'm a big fan of progression systems. I love them. I think they're great. But you look at you look at like how many games have them now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Like it's even games that, in my opinion, shouldn't have them, do now.
Right.
And to be fair, because of my special brand of mind goblins, as I like to call them, if I like a game's core gameplay, like, say, Halo, I get super addicted to those progression systems.
Yep.
I cleared that fucking battle pass in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, bro. Yeah, no.
No, the World of Warcraft found something really dark in the human psyche. And everyone found it.
Yeah, no, just everyone jumped onto it. They're just like, ooh.
Yeah.
So, and I can't blame them.
I mean, and they've been using it to like create communities of people who connect over these games.
People get married in these games, and
right.
like, yeah. And I mean, like, to be completely fair, like, I met my girlfriend through a combination of a friend that I knew and an MMORPG.
Yep. Right.
So I can't even be like, that's stupid. Like,
No,
is
like
it though?
this is they found a way to integrate games into our lives even more.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about E3 and how that like this sales like pitching event or sales reporting event like became a big part of our lives.
Well, yeah, and like the one thing that never like ended up catching on though was like they always tried to keep making like second and mobile experiences like a big part of like the experience. Like, oh man, we're gonna get them even more like into it, and it's just like no.
I mean, you know, yeah,
Does not work.
I've seen some PUBG Mobile like tournaments.
Yeah, yes,
That's weird.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, it's not quite what it could be.
Not the same level of focus, at least.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, I find subject interesting because I remember Call of Duty was a pretty big thing, and then Modern Warfare happened, and it has been riding that high, even when like its games were bad. Like it was kind of riding that high, and now. Like I've heard that this game, this Warzone and all that is good.
Yeah,
but,
I love Warzone. I think Warzone's great.
Yeah, maybe it's time.
I think that's the best battle royale.
Right.
Like it's my personal favorite one. It's just one, it's buggy as shit, and two, it takes up way too much hard drive space.
See, those are both big problems.
Always the downside.
Yes.
Well, so they've lost 60 million, and that's mostly to Call of Duty. But
I mean, World of Warcraft dropped like 4 million. Like they're just under 2 million players, which for World of Warcraft is like super small.
Right.
And according to what we can find on the internet, a lot of that is carried by Classic as well.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. Like a lot of it is the boomer guilds.
Right. It's interesting. It's interesting to see how the gaming community is evolving.
It is, you know, and we're slowly turning into MMO specialists, it seems.
We can't change the fact that we're not Valorant players. We're just not.
I can't. I don't wanna. I don't care.
I could take a shot at it. I'm not gonna understand it.
When I found out they install a rootkit on your computer, I was like, fuck that.
Ooh, yeah.
I was like, no, I'm good.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, no, I don't know if they fixed it, but when Valorant came out, it installed a rootkit on your computer. So I was like, oh, fuck that noise. Yes, ma'am.
Rootkit. Let's see if it installs rootkits. Solved. National Students Esports.gg. One of the things I'm very jealous of is like the embracing of esports for kids in like high school.
Oh, dude, no. Dude, I remember like I did competitive Halo and like you were very weird for that.
Right. No, you go to the Halo Club or especially around Halo 3, that was not as weird because that game was everywhere. Dude,
but as someone who hung out with jocks, it was weird.
Okay. Weird. I see. All right.
Like, well, granted, we had nerd jocks who thought it was cool, but
I mean, of course,
still,
but
like even then, it was still very much a, you know, times are changing. Of course, you know, and nerd culture is. In fact, I feel that's a big problem in nerd culture because you have like a bunch of nerd culture who feels like it's still like, you know, niche,
right?
And like I need to defend it all the time. It's like, bro, we're the
we make more money than the film industry.
Yeah, we are the kings now. You're not being oppressed.
Yeah.
Stop it.
There can be some stigmatization around games here and there, but it's not like
not what it was.
It's not what it was. I remember watching Jerry, who Bronson, you know.
Yeah, is he gonna compete in our Smash tournament? By the way,
I'm gonna talk with him tonight about it.
All right, great.
Yeah, so
We need a ringer.
yeah, we do, because it's not going to be me. But he was the athletic director for a high school, and I watched him as he was designing and getting ready to purchase his school's esports jerseys. I was like, this is the coolest shit. I would have loved to have grown up in a time where like I'm getting an esports jersey because I'm part of my school's fucking Fortnite team or Rocket League team.
Right, like that was a thing in Korea.
Overwatch,
like
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, like, no, I probably would have ended up being a WoW PvP player instead of a PvE player if during my high school years they were just like,
oh yeah,
like, hey, you can be on the school's PvP team.
Yeah.
dude.
Yes. Like, I will fucking hella represent Reno High in an arena team.
Well, it's funny to think about it, like of the time, like the time we were going to high school. Like what would the games be? It would be it may have died out or may have been like declining at the time, but like Unreal Tournament was still having lunchroom gatherings around my early time of my high school years.
It was like late middle school for me. So
yeah, it was around that time. So that would have been declining. Halo 3 didn't come out till
07. So like we were in high school 06 to 2010.
Yeah.
So like it would have been like Gears of War.
Yep.
Call of Duty, Halo.
Yep.
Team Fortress.
Yep. Team Fortress.
WoW arenas.
Mm.
StarCraft and Warcraft.
Yeah.
Warcraft 2? Or would that be like the MOBA?
Warcraft 3/Dota.
It's like Dota, yeah. The
Dota 1
Dota 1
for everyone who's curious.
Yeah.
And that would be,
and then you have your like EA Sports.
And then EA Sports, Counter-Strike, that kind of thing.
Yeah, Counter-Strike. That's right.
So yeah, you would have had games for sure.
Absolutely, no, there absolutely would have been games, and then you got fighting games. What would have been fighting games for? I mean, eventually Street Fighter 4, but
yeah, 08, like you would have had the 2008 setup there.
What would have been in 06 for fighting games?
DOA Ultimate, no, DOA 4.
Street Fighter 3 still.
Street Fighter 3, like the 5 people who are good at Street Fighter 3.
They've already sorted themselves out now, just endlessly against each other.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, it's because like all
practice
fighting games like didn't really like they existed, but they weren't like the thing. Like you would like DOA 4 was a big deal because it was like because DOA Ultimate had online, but it was it was kind of very niche because it was original Xbox only. But like you had this fucking like and even today you had like fighting games online are kind of a giant pain in the ass. So they're getting a lot better, to be fair. But
right,
like so you have this thing where you have like like I'm trying to think what would fighting games be at that time. That is a hard call to make.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like
all
I
right.
guess it'd be Dead or Alive. It'd be like Dead or Alive, and then eventually Street Fighter 4 would come out, and then like you'd have to base everything off of local, so esports wouldn't really be a thing. So yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah.
I don't think fighting like it's a big reason that fighting games are still like just now getting popular.
Right.
Like fighting games are like you're starting to run into like more people who are not like the 2 new kids at your FGC meetup.
Yep.
And then like because I remember like the last time I went to a local before the fucking pandemic started. It was that's what it was. Like it was very much hey, here's this goddamn here's like a bunch of people who've been doing this since they were teenagers.
Right.
And then like 2 dudes who are like 19.
Yep.
And like I went out of my way to make those 19-year-olds feel welcome, and be like, "Hey,
You gotta.
what do you play?"
Yeah.
It's just like, "What do you play?" All right, cool. I'll play Soul Calibur. What's up? Probably give me the hands. I'm bad at it.
Give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna make my character. I'm gonna make Colonel Sanders, and then we'll get in.
Yes, exactly.
So the Valorant website, Riot Games, has an article saying, and here's how to uninstall and disable Riot Vanguard, which I believe is where the rootkit stuff happens.
Good.
The Linus Tech Tips forum linked me to this and says, here's the official uninstall guide on their website. Whether it leaves traces of the malware behind or not is questionable, so best to perform a clean Windows reinstall if you want to be certain it's removed.
Or you just don't play Valorant.
I also want to say that this post I got was from 2020 when it was just coming out.
That killed it for me.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Like, yeah,
no, I'm not taking. Like, if you're already wanting to install a fucking rootkit on my computer, you can go fuck yourself.
Right. Let me see.
That's my take on that. Like, no, you can go fuck yourself real good.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like I remember, like I would have loved to grow up in a time where, like, oh hey, it's you're not playing it. Like, first off, when we were growing up, online gaming was like a novelty.
Oh yeah,
it was a big deal. Like, it was a big deal.
The first time I ever played online was when I got my Xbox 360, December of 2006. I was like, I want to play Gears of War with other people, because that's what you do.
Right.
Where's the Ethernet cord? I've never done this before. And I know for Bronson, you and a number of people, it was much earlier, but
not by much. So you got your 360 when Gears came out. So that was 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I first played online in like 2003, but it was a bunch of web-based games, like for my own account, not like playing on my like cousin's computer when I was at his house, like actually,
right.
Understanding it, which was like, so I was like 12, and then I got my first computer when I was 13, and that's, I was playing Halo PC on the internet, and it was amazing.
Right.
And then I got like, I think Unreal Tournament went on sale, and I convinced my mom to, like, instead of giving me allowance for the like next 2 weeks, just get me a copy of Unreal Tournament.
Nice.
And then, like, those were kind of my two PC games for a very long time. And then my birthday rolled around, and I picked up Call of Duty 1.
Oh wow!
And,
all right.
And then Christmas rolled around, and I got a copy of Half-Life 2. And then with my Christmas money, I picked up a copy of World of Warcraft.
Oh boy!
But I didn't understand it at first.
Sure, yeah.
And then I didn't really pick it up again until the following, like, summer/spring. And Quinn got the game. And we both made characters, right?
Right.
Like, we both made like characters together, and we played, like, the first night playing that game. We made Night Elves at first. He made a rogue. I made a warrior.
That's right.
And then
as you do.
And then the Night Elf starting zone started giving me migraines.
It hurts your eyes so much.
Especially the later we stayed up. Like, the later it got, the more it hurt. But we wanted to keep playing, so, like, dude, I think we need to make new characters. This is making me sick.
It's like if cough drop medicine was like a color. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was just like, ugh. Oh man! All right.
That's awful.
So we made we both made human warriors on and we
both
we
made
ended
warriors.
Up what?
You both made warriors?
We both made warriors. He switched from rogue to warrior because he thought the stuff I was doing looked cool.
Fair enough.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, what's really funny is I would have been a paladin because I like the idea of having magic and melee.
Sure.
Because I wanted to be a plate wearer because I love plate armor.
Right.
So I was just like, okay, well, I want to be a plate wearer, And I was like, oh, Paladin sounds really cool because you get magic and stuff. But then I looked at the starting weapons, and it's like, the Paladins got maces, and Warriors got swords and shields.
All right.
And I was like, fucking Warrior, let's go. and that's what happened. My entire taste in MMO characters / RPG characters was changed just because I hate maces and think they're stupid.
All right.
It's the whole reason in WoW, or not in WoW, in Guild Wars, where because your rotation and build changes on your weapon. Like, you have an entirely different skill set with each set of weapons. Even though the hammer skill set looks really cool, I absolutely refuse to play the build. Because I think it looks stupid. Because I think, like, I don't like maces. I was like, why would you ever use this when a sword exists?
I think there is a use case for maces. I think it comes down to preference.
Like axes are like my middle ground. I'm like neutral on them.
You sure?
Which is good because axe sword dual wielding in Guild Wars is really fucking good. But yeah, so yeah, I know it's I just love how fucking David called me out so hard the other day when he's like, where I'm just like, yeah, I'm leveling my Final Fantasy tank, and he's like, let me guess, Dark Knight, male, white, male, Dark Knight. And I'm just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's like,
funny.
He's like, I know you prefer sword and shield, but I know you would never make a paladin.
Right.
And I saw this fucking tweet on the Asmongold Reddit that was amazing, where MMORPG with so many customization options. Let's make a new character, and then it's like Asmongold, white, human, male, warrior with long hair.
Yep.
And I'm just like, calling me out, aren't you? I know this was directed at Asmon, but
it was how I knew, someone coming in while I was playing Final Fantasy was from World of Warcraft, because you don't see human males like nearly ever. Like, it's so incredibly rare. And then when the switch started happening for World of Warcraft players, it was like, oh, hi, humans exist here. This is cool.
Okay.
All right.
To be fair, I had this discussion with Anthony, and he also realized he has a stereotype.
Okay.
A night elf, and or night elf / void elf / Elysian. Right. Typically male.
Okay.
Typically male, and then his class tends to vary, but he likes to play hybrids like paladins.
Okay.
The only exception is in WoW when he played an Affliction Warlock.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So, it's...
Yeah. Well, so I just want to wrap this up by saying I couldn't find any more information on the rootkit for Valorant, except I did find one search result for national something of esports, where like colleges from the UK like organize esports events, and this one team from the University of East Anglia, their Valorant team name is called Rootkit, which is very good.
Nice.
Our university has an esports team.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, hold on, let me see what they play, because like when they first got started, I did like an interview with them, and they were doing Hearthstone.
UNR Esports.
Oh,
let's see here.
Nevada Esports. Here we go.
Nevada Esports Monthly. Get your updates on Rocket League. I don't know what your teams are. Hashtag get it at the Joe. What the fuck?
Wow. Nevada Esports. Wow, they let the website just die out.
Oh, sad. Well, anyway. The other thing I wanted to say is we should absolutely get Super Gamecraft esports jerseys.
I'm down for that.
I think that'd be fun.
Lord, when I was working with people on the Smash Bros. Collab, a bunch of people complimented our logo. So
really?
Like, fuck, now I don't want to change it.
Just slight updates. I don't know, just little things here and there. I like the super, and I like the energy that comes with the super.
Right.
I just don't know about using that font.
I like the contrast.
Yes,
that's
the contrast is good. You're right.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I just don't know about that font, using that font anymore. It's it's been with us since 2008. I understand. It's goddamn 14 years old. Holy shit.
Could use a little bit of an update.
Metal Gear will never die.
I know. I don't know. It's kind of dead.
That's absolutely fair.
Gamecraft now in the Death Stranding font.
Oh my god, I need to talk to Anthony immediately.
Oh god.
I don't think that would look as good as it sounds, but god damn it, that's funny.
Looks like it's
That's
crying.
Yeah, right. Oh Jesus. Oh no.
All right, let's get on to our next story.
What's the next story? Hey Twitch.
Fuck. Oh yeah, this was good and bad news for us.
Yes.
Like, okay, so if you're what they're doing is they're looking into cutting pay from 70% to 50% of subs.
And this is for the top streamers.
Yes, which even then though, like apparently they're trying to get it down to everyone eventually.
Oh.
Eventually being the operative word here.
Which, I mean, okay, whatever. Like that's a bummer. All this, like, what this honestly makes me want to do is just like, all right, cool. So, hey, Aaron, let's just pull our partner status and then make a Patreon.
Yep. That was always the plan. Like, we love our subs. Thank you. We appreciate it. We love your support. Honestly, what we've been talking about is if we wanted to try and make some more money doing this. First of all, we need to figure out, we want to create stuff that you guys, enjoy and care about.
Actually watch before we
to the point that you are willing to support it, and we're still figuring that out.
Before we start e-begging.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
But when it comes to taking money, like we are absolutely at the point where it's like, if we ever got to that point, we would just move to Patreon because this cut is huge.
Yeah, like if you really want to support us, go to the fucking Patreon. Like, I'll leave fucking subs up because like it's a fun thing for the community and there's trains and shit, but it's not where I'm gonna want to get most of the income.
That's always been like how Twitch has hung on, is like they've created such a fun a fun streaming experience for both parties.
Well, because like you look at because you try and watch streams on YouTube, and that's where Parker went, and I'm like, dude, this is a mistake. Like,
maybe not in the long term, but just like the short term, I don't know.
Well, like the thing is if you're gonna be a content creator now, you need you need to work both.
Sure.
Like, you need to stream on Twitch for the time being if you're doing game content. Yeah. Because the problem is like you go to like YouTube gaming and it's just garbage. It's just absolute garbage.
Right. We did look at a streaming video once that says like YouTube's actually like really trying to make it happen, and it seems like they're going in the right direction. They're just not there yet by a bit.
They don't understand like they don't have, because you look at Twitch and you have like Twitch Prime and you have like all this other stuff, and it's just like, yeah.
Well, I mean, just their whole experience, like YouTube is very much trying to, like, they have their gaming section, but it's clearly built to be very generalized. Whereas Twitch, like, even though you have your Just Chattings and you have your not game content, it is primarily a gaming centric site, and the content and the way it's laid out and presented reflects that.
100%.
So, yeah. So, like, Twitch isn't going away anytime soon, even with this cut. But honestly, like, I have to wonder if top streamers are thinking like Patreon. If they haven't already.
So with the exceptions like Ludwig, who have, contracts with YouTube, and, can't talk shit because of said contract.
Right.
What I'm hearing is if you are a small streamer or a medium streamer, this is fucking horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a big streamer, though, it doesn't matter as much.
Sure.
The way Asmongold broke it down was if you're 200 or less, this is horrible for you. This is really bad. If you're 2,000 area, this is a bummer, but you still can make it up. Especially he actually brought up something. He's just like, I remember when Rich was talking to me, and he made more money off his first sponsor than he did off of a year of his other Twitch income.
Dang.
Damn.
So yeah, if that tells you the difference,
Right.
everybody.
Right.
Which is true, because like I remember we like when we were at the Gamer Access, like we got a small sponsorship, like this will cut like for E3, and it was like $5,000, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like that's two and like a quarter of my like that's about 2 months income for me.
Right.
Like holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, and that was for like 3 days worth of videos. Now, granted, we had to cram like crazy people, but still, like, holy fuck, dude.
Right.
So yeah, like, because the benefit though is now you can multi-stream though. Like, what they're looking at is removing the exclusivity clause that you have if you become a Twitch partner. What's the one before partner?
Affiliate.
Twitch affiliate.
Affiliate / if you become a partner. Like they're looking to get rid of the exclusivity clause and open up other ways of getting money. Which because like it's a lot easier for a content creator to monetize Twitch than it is YouTube as well. That's another part of it as well, because think about, because on YouTube to even make money, I believe the threshold is like you have to have like a certain amount of subs and a certain amount of average views. That is fairly high for someone who's a fresh content creator. So you can't even like start monetizing until you're significantly bigger than a lot of people on the platform. And even then, so some inside baseball, and this is older information by now, so it might actually be less now. But you want to know how much money you make on a video that does like 500,000 people? Like $700.
Nice.
Like $500 to $700. So you make like $1 per 1,000.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah. So I actually really love it when people just assume like YouTubers make a ton of money. It's fucking hilarious.
It's like maybe the top 5, top 10.
Right? Like you're at like Linus Tech Tips area, you're at you're at that kind of area. Yeah, sure. But like if you're like, because like you have to remember, at the Gamer Access we're pulling like 32K a video.
Right.
Cool. We made $30.
Yeah.
Great. That we have to split amongst 8 people.
Right.
So yeah, like it was one of those things where it's not like it's just not sustainable without merch or Twitch streaming on top of it. Like Twitch streamers make way more than YouTubers do, especially because there's a culture of monetization also on Twitch.
Right.
Because like what happens when someone subs on our channel, right? Like we like, oh, thank you, blah 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 blah, and then Shenron pops up, your wish has been like that shit.
Yeah.
And then like if you have a lot of people subbing at once, like a hype train happens, right? Like that's fun for the audience, it's fun for the streamer, like it's a cool thing. Versus like what happens on YouTube when you do whatever their equivalent to the sub is. I forget what it's called. Like no one notices, no one cares. Like on the few times I've bothered to watch YouTube gaming, you know. Apparently Facebook has good monetization tools, but then you have to deal with Facebook.
Sure. Yeah.
There is a big advantage to streaming on Facebook, and it's why I was considering it for a while, is the fact that you are is like just the pool is so much smaller and you have so much less competition.
Right.
And apparently if you're good enough, it's fairly easy to monetize. So but yeah, like there's a lot of stuff like that, and I don't know what the answer is. I think that this could potentially be good. It sucks right now, especially because if you're like us and you make like on a good year barely enough to where I have to file taxes for us.
Yeah.
Then this sucks ass, because it's like, oh cool, we make even less now.
Yeah.
you know. And then if we were trying to turn this into more of a full-time thing, then we'd have to, you know, hit up our community like, hey guys, you know, if you guys want to do more donos, or like you want to make extra, or like we're gonna have to, you know, turn to Patreon. And the thing about being a creator on Patreon is, okay, now you need to give them extra stuff to make the Patreon worth it.
Right.
So that's more of your time as a creator spent on, you know, doing other stuff. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like if, you know, like for example, like we have these lengthy chats before the podcast normally. And like, you know, we could record those as a Patreon thing.
Sure.
You know, here, if you just want to hear us talk about random bullshit for an hour,
right,
here you go. Or, you know, something like that. Or like, hey, Anthony will make a special video, or, you know, whatever.
Yep.
So yeah, it's one of those things where
I mean, this basically just says like, hey, we're like, if they implement this, we're gonna be, you know, multi-streaming.
Yeah, I mean that's a great part for us, and then we can start multi-streaming.
We'll be multi-streaming, which will be fantastic for us. And then if we continue with trying to monetize, if we try to like really push on that aspect, it'll probably be through Patreon and not necessarily through either like Twitch, really.
Like, yeah, like I'll leave that shit up for the alerts and the people who want to do it, but
right,
you know, it's when we have to go e-begging.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, hey, go to the Patreon. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you'll get, you know, special stuff from us. Versus, you know, Twitch, you know, you get the emotes, which that's another thing though. Like typically Twitch, for, you know, the subs, they get emotes, and like that's another part of their whole like monetization culture that they've built.
Yep.
You know, like it's.
Yeah,
man.
So I don't know. Yeah, this isn't great, but it does. It's funny because it does open the door for like, all right, now we're gonna be streaming everywhere, and we're gonna be looking to take our monetization stuff. Like that stuff will still be there, but our focus will be outside of Twitch. So good job, Twitch.
Good job accomplishing the opposite of your goal. And like
you'll get that bump for the next quarter.
Yeah, great guys. Good job. It's like they need to understand, like, yes, they're the market leader, and it's like not even close.
Yeah.
But it's like, guys, eventually YouTube will figure it out.
Right.
You know. And the thing is, like, I get that Twitch itself loses Amazon a ton of money.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fact, and they want to start making profit off of it.
Right.
But on the other side of that, it's like, dude, you this is, you know, like you said, that bump for the quarter thing.
You got to really figure out a way to do that without like ads, and because like the streamers aren't going to want to enforce that either, because they're the same. They don't like ads either.
Well, yeah, because like you talk about that like ad culture, right?
Yeah.
Like, fucking, you know, ads are just so not conducive to a stream environment.
Right.
Like they're just not.
Yeah.
Because you have the whole factor of like just, oh man, we're doing this. Like, how annoying is it on Twitch? Like, let's say during my Jailer's Gauntlet run on this past week, like, and I almost cleared that boss that I ended up failing on. Like, how annoying would it be in the middle of that? I'm about to kill it or I'm about to bite it. It's going to be either or, and you get an ad right in the middle of that.
Yep.
That would suck.
And they're like, you can take control of the ads to make sure it doesn't happen at a bad time. And it's like, okay, I'm playing like a Dota match. It's going to be 30 minutes of me doing this. Like, I can't just like hit a button. Like, they're going to be watching the whole time. I can't do that.
Like, unless I die.
Right.
You know, and I have like my 30 minutes. I was like, all right, here's an ad while I'm dead.
Here's 15. Well, yeah, here's like a 15-second ad, which will buy me like 15 minutes time or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not
fucking
great.
Horrible is what it is. Like it's no one likes it. It's like it. I don't mind pre-roll ads. That's fine. You're not in the stream yet. Yeah. It's not interrupting your stream. It's not fucking doing anything to your stream. Mm-hmm. Like, you're fine. You know, say like there's plenty of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But to have it happen just like dead center, it's just like fuck.
Right. Like a show like, you know, GeForce talk shows, or honestly like Super Gamekast, we could we could just take breaks and then run as many ads as we need to like buy us time. Technically we could do that, but the fact is we just don't like we don't like it. We don't like doing it. And we just don't. And that's a lot of streamers.
Yeah.
So they're trying to like put pressure and force people to do it, and I just don't think it's going to work.
Yeah.
They'll get a bump in profit this next quarter, and then
or whatever they implement. Yeah, and it's just like it's so frustrating because it's like they don't understand their audience or they don't care, and they're just trying to brute force it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's so many other ways you could do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many other ways. Just off the top of your head, just run more pre-roll ads.
Sure.
You know? Fucking it. Okay, hey, sorry, before the stream starts, you have 4 minutes of ads.
That sucks hard, but like, it's better than getting it in the middle of a stream.
Right, because like, okay, Asmongold's live right now. Let me click on him. All right, there's an ad. Cat's gonna stick around to support the stream, and like, I guarantee you, if I run this, I'm gonna get an ad like way into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fucking just so terrible. It's a terrible experience.
Yeah.
For everyone involved.
Yep. It just makes people want to run ad blocker. Just.
Yeah. And then the ad blockers, they beat the fucking people who are developing this shit, beat the ad blocker, and then they have to fucking make a new ad blocker update that gets around with what. It's just a constant escalating thing.
Right. Yep. So we're looking ahead at that. That may affect how we run this channel going forward. But this is what they're just like exploring. This isn't this is not what they're doing yet. So all of this may not be even happening, but
yes, this is true.
Yeah. So,
but it's just something to be aware of.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Next news story. How about that?
Next news story. What? Oh.
So. Yeah.
Hey, that Mario movie has been delayed to 2023.
I'm not surprised.
Ouch.
I'm not surprised.
Ouch.
I just love the tweet that announced it.
Oh, what was it? I didn't see this.
It was Miyamoto on the Nintendo account. It just says, "This is Miyamoto."
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh no.
And it became a meme, and it was so goddamn funny.
This is Miyamoto. What now?
This is Miyamoto. I talked with Chris San, who is the like CEO of Illumination, I guess.
Yeah.
And we decided we needed to push it, and then everyone started writing like, "This is Miyamoto. I'm stuck in the bathroom stall," and you could. It was really, really good. I also love the idea that Miyamoto just like, give me the phone, I'll do it. They won't get mad at me.
I mean, he is the Mario guy, right?
He's the Mario guy.
I mean, yeah.
I like that he's involved at all in any way. Like, all right, so he's like looking at. Some people were saying like they sat down for a viewing of the Mario movie, and Miyamoto was just like, "This is terrible. No, give me the phone. This isn't releasing yet. We're fixing stuff."
I mean, that's what he does with games, right?
Right. And like Nintendo has had a rocky history with movies, specifically with Mario.
I mean, yes. I will. Yes. True facts.
So like, I remember Wreck-It Ralph came out, and that was that big moment of like, oh, they're kind of opening up. They're kind of letting people do some things with some characters. That's nice. So the announcement of this movie was like a big deal. But it seems like, yeah, there's definitely going to be some quality control for sure. And maybe that got involved in this. So, yeah. I'm not surprised. Just let them make the movie. The big thing people are waiting for is to hear what the hell a Chris Pratt voiced Mario sounds like. It is the most agonizing wait. I want to hear what that is.
It's just his voice.
Just, hey, I'm Mario.
Yeah. No.
I have velociraptors while I ride a motorcycle.
I was just thinking of
No,
Star Lord.
God.
Yeah, that works too. Or Andy from Parks and Rec.
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I wipe and there's still poop, and then I wipe again and there's still poop, and I wipe and I wipe. Mario, shut up! What?
What the hell? God.
Oh, god damn it! So yeah,
I love Parks and Rec. Specifically, I love Ron Swanson. But
I know you do.
That's it.
Yeah, let him make it. They got
right?
Chris Pratt as Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, that's hilarious. Jack Black as Bowser, that's amazing. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, interesting.
Hell
That's
yes.
even more amazing.
Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, which I think will be hilarious.
Ah!
Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. I love that Cranky Kong's involved, first of all. Second of all, Fred Armisen. Keith and Michael Richardson as Kamek.
Love Kevin Michael. Great voice actor.
This is
Oh my
already such a
God.
weird thing.
Yeah. And, oh, God, I'm not going to say this name right. Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. Maniscalco as Spike. And then Charles Martinet will be in the film.
As who?
I don't know.
That's the thing. When he was announced, no one knew. We still don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, what the shit? Guys?
It's going to be Sonic Generation. This is where they reveal the new Mario design, and then old Mario comes in, and it's Charles Martinet.
Oh, God.
I think they already can do that for Mario. Like, they could do, like the old 2D one design and the current design.
It'd be really funny if Mario's just like, oh yeah, we're talking about my identical twin brother Mario, and it shows like Mario Sunshine. Mario like, let's go, and then like pushes him off a cliff. I don't know. They wouldn't do that. But,
oh God, no, no.
They had to bring him in somehow. Like the fact that they even did not cast him as Mario. I understand why for like 2 hours having that Mario talk might be a little annoying.
Grating as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it.
We have to collect all the Infinity Stones. Woohoo! Shit. Oh no.
I would watch it though.
Are you telling me Back to the Future is a bunch of bullshit? So yeah.
God.
All right, it's getting moved.
Oh
Fine.
my God.
So. Avengers assemble.
Jesus.
Anyway.
Now we just need to make a cut of Mario as all of the Avengers.
Oh man.
Oh God.
Oh please, someone make this happen.
Donkey Kong's
That would be
Hulk.
Awesome. Yeah.
Luigi's Ant-Man.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That checks out.
Yeah. Is Mario Captain America?
I mean, like, he gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's Iron Man? That's a tough one. Because I'm looking at these other characters here. I think Peach has to be Black Widow.
Yeah.
Though I think Daisy would be a better casting choice, but you know, like
Not
marketing.
in this.
Yeah.
But marketing.
But yeah.
But marketing. Maybe if they make a sequel,
Yeah.
we could see Daisy. Maybe.
Oh,
Right.
you make Daisy Black Widow's sister.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Nope. I'm done with this bit. I'm over it. So yeah, it's getting pushed. Should we move to our last story, which is another video game movie?
Speaking of video game movie news.
Speaking of fucking things that are agonizing.
Sonic 2 is now the highest grossing video game movie ever in the U.S.
Unsurprising.
Which surpassed the previous record holder, which is Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
Also unsurprising.
Yeah, surprise, Sonic resonates with the kids.
Sonic is for the children.
Sonic is for the children. Especially post-Attitude Era.
Yes.
Yeah, so this movie is done very, very well, and for a kids movie, it is perfectly entertaining. So
Yeah, it's fine.
they do Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and Robotnik justice, so that's good. I've already talked to death about my problems with that movie, but it's just not for me.
It's the greatest film you've ever seen, right?
It's the best.
Absolutely.
It's the best.
Without question.
I love the part where Sonic says Rosebud. Yeah.
Lordy.
Let's see.
Well.
Hang on. Paramount is moving ahead with a third Sonic movie, but star Jim Carrey, who plays Robotnik, has said he may retire from acting. This is news to me.
No.
Oh yeah, he announced that.
That's the best part of those movies.
Yeah.
He probably announced that maybe a month or so ago.
Come back, man.
To complete the three-peat at least. Complete the trilogy. And then
they can set up like whatever bullshit villains they had in other games.
Yeah. I just have to imagine like Jim Carrey has finally gotten to an age where wacky Jim Carrey takes a toll on him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, how old is Jim Carrey?
50?
50 something.
50s? At least.
Born in 62, so he's like 60.
He is literally 60. He turned 60 in January.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey's like a big part of his thing is the physical. He's very good at physical humor and just moving around and all that. And I wonder, I don't know.
But you
Jim
also have
Carrey's,
to remember.
Yeah.
You also have to remember, Jim Carrey, this was his baby when he did the first Sonic movie. Like, he took Robotnik.
Oh, yeah.
And became him.
I think
the second one is probably
I think the role really does energize him a lot because it's just it's kind of a throwback to what he got famous for in the 90s, right?
That's the thing.
So he has to do the third one, and then he can retire.
It's like, I can't die this way. It would be too cliche.
Exactly.
That's yep. Which is a very Robotnik line too. Those movies are going to continue to do well. They have a formula, and it's doing them good. So expect another one of those in a couple years.
At least
they're not horrible movies.
They are not horrible movies. Like, despite my problems, despite at one point wanting to leave the theater, it is not a horrible movie. It's just not the Sonic I know. That's all. This is why we're an MMO channel now. We're the old video game people.
Yep, we're the boomer gamers.
So, oh well.
Me sitting here with my Crash Bandicoot Funkos.
That newer Crash Bandicoot, from what I understand, was good.
It was good. Crash 4 was really good. Yeah.
Still need to pick that up at some point or another.
And that remake trilogy was great, and the Crash Team Racing reboot, like they did Crash some justice.
Right.
Spyro not getting the same treatment.
Yeah.
Hey.
Which the remake was fine, but you didn't get a new one. Like a new one.
Yeah.
Wake me up when Jak and Daxter returns.
Please. Also, for those.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Made by Naughty Dog.
I know. Yeah, just sell the property. Naughty Dog's not going to do anything with it.
I mean, like, Sony could probably just hand it to another studio.
That's all you got to do.
And they can just work it from there.
Which they did that. They had two PSP games in that universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They just, Naughty Dog talked about wanting to go back to it, but they never did.
Yeah.
They keep going back to Uncharted and The Last of Us.
That's all you need. And like, even with those big studios, like both of those are all hands on deck, basically. Like, just hand Jak and Daxter to someone else.
Yeah.
And then Sly Cooper's hovering somewhere.
Dead. Sly Cooper
trying to make a TV show or something. But
Sly Cooper is dead in a ditch. That's where Sly Cooper is.
I don't know. I don't think they're dead, but like they're not making games right now. Yeah.
The last one was great. I love the last one. A lot of the community around it kind of pooped on it, but I had a great time.
I'll always have a soft spot for Sly Cooper.
And the best part is I played it on the Vita.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you did.
Yeah. Like, but yeah, like it is a new Sly Cooper gonna do well though? That's the question. Is it gonna make its money back? And
Yep.
like I would buy it personally, but
I mean, yeah. But again, it's the oldies. It's the same reason
you know,
Jack and Daxter's not going to get made. Is it's for the oldies, and
which is fun. Like it's really interesting how much like sub 25-year-olds move the industry.
oh yeah.
Because like we're the ones with all the fucking money.
I mean, yes,
but
but
like,
also
they're
it's
the ones
video
with all
games.
the
Like I don't
time.
know.
Yeah.
I get it.
Like I think it's a combination of the time thing with the money thing. Like it's
Right.
Yep.
Well, is that our news?
That's our news.
How tall is Jim Carrey? I'm clicking this link. I want to find out how tall Jim
Honestly,
Carrey
he's
is.
like
Like
6'2".
6'2".
The Canadian
at least 6
actor
foot.
is 6'2".
I was right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well done.
ta-da! I can accurately guess people's heights.
How tall is Joe Biden? I have the number right here.
5'10".
6'1".
6.
I wanted to say 6, but typically presidents are a little taller.
Yeah.
So I went up.
Yeah.
Damn, I psyched myself out.
Jeff Daniels of Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey is 6'1".
Oh.
Or no, co-stars. He's not as tall as. Oh no, he's 6'3". Good lord.
Jesus.
Come down. Get down here. God damn it.
Aaron, you're what? 5'11"?
I'm 5'10" and a half. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Jack
'cause
Black
I
is
know-
5'6".
Yeah, I'm a little taller than Jack Black, and I'm the same height as Robert Downey Jr.
Oh wow. Huh.
So yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well. Hey, we're playing video games.
We play
That's what
video
do
games
here.
around here.
It's what we do on this channel,
Yep.
amongst
We
other
love
things.
video games. They're great. They're a favorite pastime of mine.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
And
That's how you know. That's how you know we're old. Is we call it a pastime.
what do the youths say?
They certainly don't call it a pastime. That's
Absolutely not.
their pastime is Roblox.
Oh,
Roblox
God.
and Friday Night Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh my God, I
Jesus.
fucking hate Five Nights at Freddy's
I
so
hate
much.
FNAF so much.
And Minecraft. Although yeah, I guess Minecraft's like old for Zoomers. I don't know if Gen Alpha's playing Minecraft.
There are plenty of people in our generation who plays Minecraft.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Like my girlfriend and like her best friend.
You want to talk about games that
played
came
all
out
the
when
time.
we were in high school?
I came out when we were in college. I thought.
Did it?
What did it come out? Would it come out in 09 or? 10?
I mean, are we counting the beta?
No, we'll go official release because
That's going to be a problem because I remember purchasing it when it was in beta and playing it.
never bought it. Just played it at other people's houses and thought it was stupid.
Because it is. No offense.
I really enjoy creative. I enjoy I had a good run there with a few friends where we took an island and we built whatever you want, and I got mostly through a baseball stadium. That was a good time.
I'm just never that fucking person.
You would though.
Like it's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same reason I've been like having trouble with Guild Wars. Is like Guild Wars is a lot of that. Like do whatever you want, make your own fun. And I'm just like, okay, but no.
No, not at all.
It's just no.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I mean,
that's
that's what the survival's for, is trying to survive, and then you're advancing technology, and then you create the portal and.
But then
different
I
mods that have
also
come
don't
out.
care for survival games. So
Right.
It's just like
I know.
it's just like, this is
I
just
don't
not.
like Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, I think
I'm
it's
also not a fan of
survival
that.
horrors.
Yeah.
no, it's not fun. I don't like, and then the fact that it just murdered one of my favorite YouTube channels didn't help
Oh.
with the whole Five Nights at Freddy's thing. I used to love Game Theory. I thought it was such a cool fun.
Oh.
Game Theory.
And then it turned into Five Nights at Freddy Theory for years, and I was like, was like, all right, cool. You can have fun with that, I guess.
Damn. Oh. Yeah, I just searched Game Theory YouTube, very first one. Five Nights at Freddy's. The clue that's almost solves everything at 7.8 million views.
Yeah. Well,
that was 2 months ago.
Oh yeah,
2
I
months
heard about
ago.
this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What? Wow. Still going.
Yeah, I actually found an article about it. I think last week about it. Should have sent it to you. I'm sure if I'll find it again, I'll send it to you. But I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we got 1, we got 2. 8 days ago, are theories killing video games? Is my channel bad for video games?
I don't know.
No, I think your channel's actually a really cool idea.
Yes.
But because you want to make it into a career, and you're all about that, and I understand, you just make a ton of Five Nights at Freddy's content, and it made me not give a shit anymore. That's my response to him. It's just it's like and I get it, because like on this channel, let's say one of the particular MMOs pops off, like, yeah, we're gonna probably focus on the content for it.
Right. Well, and then here's the thing: is like, okay, so this is all about being a business, right? Like you're trying to make money, and you got to follow the numbers at some point. I'm gonna switch back to WebView on the video podcast here real quick. I just want to look at this. We got Warframe, 1.8 million views. We got Pokemon, not even 1 million views. We got Inscription, which got 3.6 million views, and then you got Friday Nights at Freddy's, 11 million views.
Jesus.
Yep.
We got let's see, we got another Inscription, 2.6 million. You got Halo, 1.1 million. Friday Nights at Freddy's, 7.6 million. Like,
yeah. So why wouldn't you like that'd be like, okay, like I want to make WoW content, but WoW content pulls like 1 million, and then Final Fantasy or Guild Wars content pulls like 8.
Right.
It's like I may prefer to make the WoW content, and it may be what like a good chunk of the audience likes, but it's not the big money maker. And like, there's a significant amount of money in just ad revenue alone in 1 million versus 7 million.
Yeah. Yep. So like, he made an Elden Ring video. It's like 650,000, and then, but like, yeah, his Friday stuff just rocks it. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to find your audience, and he found it, and it took over, more or less. But yeah, Friday Nights at Freddy's, I don't know. It's fine. I will never play them, but whatever.
I have a friend who's obsessed. Tried them. Wasn't for me.
Bronson, let's talk about games that you have been playing.
I have been playing. I played Guild Wars, and I played all 3 of the MMOs, basically, is what I played.
Cool. I played 2 of them.
Yeah, I played Guild Wars, I played WoW, I played Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, I did some PvP on my Reaper.
All right.
I leveled up my tank some more. I really want to refocus on that, but it's just like, I'm just so tired of how easy the dungeons are to tank.
Sure.
Like, I'm just like, this is so fucking boring sometimes. Like, I try and make it more exciting for myself by just doing batshit insane polls.
Sure.
Just like, I shouldn't do this, but fuck it. What's the healer gonna do, bitch?
Right. Yeah. I've been having trouble. I've been trying to tank, and like, I'll try to pull people, and there's always like one monster that goes after the rest of the group, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Just drop your AoE again, and it should be fine.
I mean, yeah. Well, so they'll be spread out enough that I'll drop the AoE and I'll catch 2 of them, but I guess like one is outside or something, and then I try to do my like ranged attack to get to them while pulling the other groups back, and because then the other way is then I have to run back over to that guy, hit the AoE again, and then I have to move back to aim them away from the rest of the group and at me.
Yeah, that's typically what I do. Is I just run back, grab, and then go.
Okay.
It's yeah, and to be fair, like because of how long people can take sustained damage, it's like, okay, dude, it doesn't really matter if you get hit a couple of times.
Sure.
It's
I just see other tanks when I run through doing better, and I'm like, fuck, what's that? What am I messing up? But well, it's not like it's not leading to a wipe. It's just like this little nitpicky thing of mine.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, like tanking in that game is so fucking easy. And it's just
they've made those dungeons a lot more straightforward.
Yeah, it's you really don't have to worry about layout. You really don't have to worry about like a lot of the stuff you in the past would have had to worry about, and like compared to the WoW dungeons where it's like very mechanic heavy, it's just a big difference. In fact, I've been enjoying 14 a lot. I'm capped. I'm fully geared. I'm basically just farming astronomy tomes and the weekly raid at this point. I just don't have a whole lot left, and I just don't have a whole lot left on my checklist. That it just is what it is. And because of this, it's very much one of those things where now I'm like going back and I'm doing the like standard content, like the leveling dungeons or the non end game stuff, and it's just too easy.
Sure.
But like I need to do it because it doesn't like you're very capped on end game stuff for the week, especially if you don't have a static to run Savage with.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like I've never seen someone pug Savage. I can't find them. They're fucking unicorns. They don't exist. So I'm like in this weird state where okay, like I want to do this content, but not like I need to find a static or a guild. That's kind of trying right now. And then the only real other end game I have is I can run the 3 extremes and then do the raid clear. And to be fair, unless your group is just really awful, like even the raid clear really isn't like hard unless you're trying to do like a no death run.
Right.
So it's just one of those things where it's just like coming back to WoW for the week, and getting to run Mythic Plus again was great. Like I loved it.
Nice.
It's super fun. And it's something I would murder for Final Fantasy to add a Mythic Plus element.
I imagine they will at some point.
Supposedly that's something they're working on. They haven't given it. I think they even gave it a name, but it's apparently a ways out.
Okay.
So,
do you think they'll include it next expansion?
That'd be the hope, right?
Yeah.
Especially because like Guild Wars has that system also.
Right.
In fact, Guild Wars is apparently the first one to have it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's just like having progressively harder dungeons and 5-man content. It's a really well done, cool idea. It's just. I wish more people would, more MMO developers would take it seriously, because like Destiny kind of has something like that, but Destiny not have like you want to know what really has killed Destiny for me is the fact that it just doesn't have an LFG tool.
Yeah, we've talked about this. That's a
just
killer for that game.
It's the same thing with God, what's it called? It's the same thing how like in Final Fantasy like. For like it's just no one is like people in that game just not that interested in the extreme, or like what is it, or like they're just not interested in pugging it. Like is it just like back in the olden days of WoW where like you had to have a guild, just no one wanted to pug?
I can't speak to the community. All I know is there is a general emphasis on the more casual aspect of MMOs, just chilling and doing glamour and nightclubs and
all that fun stuff.
All that stuff around the hard raids and all that. Of course, everyone's doing their little dailies, or not dailies, but like their their Wondrous Tales, filling that out, leveling, whatever jobs they haven't leveled yet or whatever, working towards weapons. But honestly, I don't think it's, I just don't think it's as intensive a community on that aspect the way WoW is. And that's just what it is.
Right. And to be fair, my big complaint with WoW is currently that, like, they do need more of that. They do need I think the Jailer's Gauntlet is a good first step.
Sure.
I think that is a very good. I think that it's like having like a single player boss rush mode that's like super fun like that. Great first step. So super good. But I think it's also just it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. But so you've been enjoying Final Fantasy?
Yeah, I still need to do my raid clear and the rest of my tomes for the week, but getting in there and leveling my Dark Knight yesterday was a lot of fun.
Nice.
I make sure to tell every healer at the beginning of every dungeon, I am going to pull everything.
Yeah, wall to wall.
Let me. Okay, this is gonna be wall to wall plus. All right.
Sure.
Like we're gonna go so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and then outside of that, I'm in WoW, and if this last patch is any indication, of where the game could go, I do see that they are paying attention.
Yeah.
They've removed a lot of friction. There's a lot of systems to get geared. They've done some stuff to make it so it's easier to gear alts. But there's still just a little too much friction, which is supposedly what they're getting but like they're stuck with whatever Shadowlands is until it's done.
Right.
So like the itemization tax when you want to send an alt gear, like that still exists. Getting a second legendary without having to ever go into Torghast, super easy, super fun. Getting tier pieces now that the create I came to this patch late, so all the story content is already out.
Right.
It's not time gated, and same with the creation catalyst. So I got my full tier set in a week for my mage.
Okay.
Damn.
Super quick, super fast, super fun. The only thing that's really I feel is locked behind a grind that feels unnecessary is maxing, getting your second legendary and having it be really good is easy. However, having your second legendary get fully maxed out is locked partially behind a fucking rep grind.
Okay.
And it's not the end of the world. It's you just log in every day, do 3 world quests, and then make sure you do your weekly raid clear.
Right.
Not super hard, not the end of the world, not by any means like a big, but it still just feels like fucking needless time gated friction to keep up fucking MAU, monthly active users. But I'm also sitting here going but guys, it doesn't I don't think you guys understand fucking if you want me to count as a monthly active user, you just have to have me play once a month. You don't need to time gate. You really don't. Just let me fucking play the game at a pace in which I want and enjoy the fucking game.
Right.
That's it. That's all you got to do, bro. I don't, especially because gearing is its own thing that takes time anyway, and you won't get it done super quick unless you're very lucky. I'm gonna be Mythic Keystone takes time, so I'm gonna be a part of your fucking stupid MAU report anyway. You don't need to time gate the fucking rep grind. just like you don't need to fucking make, and granted, this next part they're getting rid of in Dragonflight, which, good call, but you also don't need to make it so I have to do the rep grind twice.
Right.
You really don't.
Yep.
Damn.
I promise.
Yep.
Like, yeah, and I've been talking about, and like I've been talking with Phoebe about this, or sorry, Stella, is like you have you have these systems that are that they're stealing shit from other MMOs, and I'm like, yeah, great, do it. Fucking, I would love other, like that's a good smart move,
Right.
If they're even smarter, they'll fucking keep stealing shit. And I would love to see other games still steal some shit from WoW.
Yeah.
In fact, I was actually like listening to Allcraft this week, and just like, it's like, no, whenever Blizzard does original ideas, they make soul conduits. So how about no, they just keep stealing things.
Right. That's funny.
So yeah, I don't know. It's been good to come back home, and there are parts of the game that are still a lot of fun, and they've been removing a lot of friction, but it's still just like, I just want to be done with Shadowlands already.
Yeah.
And I know that's not for another year, so I figure I'm gonna finish this patch, and then after this patch, I'm just gonna unsub and come back during the pre-patch, put the game on ice.
Right.
And that it's there's just no longer this thing that like back in the day it used to be the case. Like you played a MMO, you picked one, and then that was your game. But it just doesn't exist anymore, bro. It just doesn't.
Sure.
Like it's there's. And to be fair, it's better for the industry that way anyway.
Right.
So
just jump around. Just take your monthly subscription. Where you need to if you're only paying for one.
Yeah, and honestly, if they're smart about it, they will. The content creators will release their patches around each other.
Right. Yeah.
Just like, 6.2 is coming out. Hey guys, delay 10.1, like forever how long.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. And I understand you came back to the world of Warcraft.
I did for a little bit. We had our duo stream happen.
Yeah, we did.
And I did a little bit of Final Fantasy. You were doing some World of Warcraft, and then we did a flipsy. And
I did.
And yeah, so I'm at like level 12, something like that.
You're super early. Honestly, talking about it with Stella recently, because she is going to try it if Dragonflight turns out to not be terrible, and then you trying a fresh. I've actually kind of wanted to make a fresh character to see what like a new experience is like for someone in that game.
Sure.
Because I haven't had to do a fresh character in that game in a long time.
Right. Yeah.
And when I get friends and do it, I tell them, no, just use the boost.
Right.
Which it's like, look, that old content can be fun. I'm sure you would enjoy getting some achievements out of it. But it is also going to take you like 20 to 30 hours, and it doesn't affect the story of this expansion that much. Any questions you have, I can honestly just answer for you.
Right.
So yeah, it's along those lines of just like, it's not really like. It's okay. It's not like Final Fantasy, where if you tell someone, "Oh yeah, I just skipped all the cutscenes and whatever expansion," like the fucking community loses their goddamn mind.
Right. Yeah. No, the World of Warcraft is not like that, and it's something I realized when I was playing World of Warcraft. I was like, all right, there's not necessarily like a straightforward story. I'm taking on quests and getting experience here and there, and
it's the way that they used to do it up until Shadowlands has an MSQ.
Right.
Shadowlands has a straight MSQ. Like I'm on my warrior, and if you pull up Chains Domination, all right, you finished 6 of the 9 chapters, and the next quest you need to do is Winter's Vigil, and this is where it is.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like, but what it used to be is, all right, yeah, there's kind of an overarching narrative, or there is one, but for the leveling experience, you need to focus on the stories of these individual zones and what's going on there. Which, as a, you know, because that's what I kind of started on, and to be fair, I, you know, liked it. I didn't really have an issue with this. I was just like, oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Well, especially at the very beginning of World of Warcraft, where it's like there was no written book necessarily other than EverQuest.
Right, and like, to be fair, I actually really like that level of storytelling where it's like, yeah, man, we're just gonna throw you in this world, and you're gonna get the story for each part of this world. You know, through this quest text.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not like nothing's really telling you where to go to progress a story or anything. It's just like, this is the story. Who knows where it's gonna go? And there I can certainly see some appeal to that, but as someone who's only level 12 right now, I can't say.
Well, I'm referring to like what the vanilla story was. I'm not talking about like
sure.
what you're doing. Yeah, like what you're doing is, most of that stuff, other than the Sylvanas stuff, really isn't relevant to what happens at Cap right now.
Ah, great.
It's literally just like, because they have you level through battle, because very similar to Final Fantasy, the story continues in the post game. You know, in Final Fantasy's case, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, etc., etc.
Yep.
WoW does that as well. In the case of Battle for Azeroth, it was 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. But you don't have to play that to level or get into endgame or even move to the next expansion.
I see.
So why would most people bother? You know, like, that's because, like, the way that I was talking with David and Stella about this, World of Warcraft story is very much a comic book. Or a comic book, or a series of comic books, I should say, where it's, you know, where it's very much a, like, there's some really good storytelling in this very interesting world that you want to be in and mess around in, but like the narrative is very scattered and the quality of the writing goes very much up and down. Depending on what quest, what zone, what, like, it's like, imagine if you told someone to go hop in to read fucking Batman right now, right?
Right, yeah.
Like, okay, what storyline do you start from? What, whatever. The biggest draw to World of Warcraft, as far as leveling is concerned, is like seeing these cool places, running into these characters who do weird or funny shit, and then experiencing, the dungeons and the endgame content.
Okay.
Like, that's where your meat and potatoes comes from, which is why, which is partly why when coming to Final Fantasy, I found it incredibly frustrating the way the MSQ worked.
I see.
Because I was like, why can't I just bull rush to Cap? Why? And then you realize that Final Fantasy, narrative is its number one focus.
Right.
Like, that's what it is all about. It is all about this story. It is all about doing, having that experience. Versus, wow, it has a story, it's a good story, there's a focus, etc., etc. But it's not, it's just not the primary draw. Like, very similar to when we were talking about the stream. When you hear people talk about Final Fantasy, what's like the first thing they bring up? It's like, oh, what character do I like? What, what particular, like story set piece that I find really engaging or cool.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Like, every time I've played Final Fantasy, outside of a couple of the bosses, it's been mostly, oh, dude, that fucking scene at the beginning of Shadowbringers was fucking horrifying and awesome as fuck. Or like, oh man, this fucked up shit is happening. Or
yep.
oh man, that like Van Daniel's the best, like that kind of shit. Versus in WoW, it's like the best stories I think of are just like, oh man, we're up till like 2 a.m. running Blackrock Depths, and we did it with this weird comp, and it was super fucking hilarious and fun.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
as you do.
Yeah, it's very much like in the case of WoW, the story comes from what you and your friends do.
Right.
Like it's very much hey, me and my friends or me and these random strangers are gonna do weird shit together or hard, challenging stuff together, and we're gonna do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Final Fantasy, which in my opinion for Final Fantasy, it makes its leveling experience really enjoyable.
Right.
Because you're experiencing a narrative. The problem I'm experiencing with Final Fantasy is when I cap out, and I have the second best gear you can get, but the other best gear is locked behind, Savage and or time gating, like grinding astronomy tones and maths. So either way, I'm like time gated. So I, like that's where I'm at. Like I have, and it means I don't play it the same way I play WoW when I hit endgame.
Sure.
Because in WoW, once you have your 2 legendaries, you can live in Mythic Plus and literally just keep grinding keys all week long. If that is, and keep getting gear and keep upgrading your gear. There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Sure.
Is that healthy always? No. Probably
not. The slightest, absolutely not.
But it is still it's still like a big option that keeps me going. Is like the fact that, oh dude, if I do really good on this next key and we beat it as a group, I can go to the higher difficulty key and get a higher score for my mythic rating, and also get gear upgrades that make me even more powerful for doing even harder or more stuff in general.
All right.
Well, yeah. I find the end game systems a lot more engaging, because as much as I like doing, the Bun Slut Safari that we did, or things like that in Final Fantasy, it's very much not something that's going to keep me logging in all the time. It's like, okay, that's cool. We did the thing. We saw it once. Here are these kind of nuts people, but fun people on the internet.
I mean, a lot of the fun for me, at least from what I've seen of Endgame, is like, yeah, you can go look for the mounts that you want, the weapons that you want, all that stuff. But then there's just like, I don't know, just hang out in the world, meet some friends. If you got friends in Final Fantasy, you can hang out with them in there.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when I play games, I'm very like goal oriented.
Right.
Like I don't want to just chill in a place most of the time.
Right.
Like every now and then I do, which like in Final Fantasy serves that purpose really well.
Yeah.
But it's not what I focus on when I play games. Like it's like I'm not going to hang out when I play Bloodborne.
Well,
right?
of course,
If Bloodborne had a multiplayer element, I'd be like, all right, cool, we're gonna go kill bosses, right?
I mean, it does. It does have a multiplayer element, and
you know
yes,
what I mean,
to
though,
go,
like
yes.
an MMO style type thing.
Yes.
It's like the same thing with like Halo. Like I had friends who were like obsessed with Forge and doing stuff in Forge, and Forge, hang out in Forge, and I'm just like, okay, we can go kill people, right?
Yeah. I mean, Forge is all about, working towards creating a map or a mode that makes killing people more fun.
Yeah.
Right. With that, and like, but I'm just I'm at the point where I'm just like, damn, let's get to the meat and potatoes
here. Sure.
Let's go fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like, what's it called? Like, forgetting its fucking name. Oh well.
Yeah.
But like it's why like I end up just coming back to WoW so much, because like up until Shadowlands, the progression system has always been just fucking top tier. Like it's just always been just so much. Like they make consistently doing raid content or content like that super engaging and interesting and like fun.
Yeah.
And because I'm someone who, like I said, will go to town and be like, hey, let's go check out these weird fucking glamours. Like these are let's see what people are doing for glams.
Yeah.
And I take pictures of people with glams, but like that's not what keeps me coming back, I guess.
Right.
Is the way I would describe it. Because like I don't like, to me that's a novelty.
Sure.
And novelty wears off fast, I guess, for me.
I mean, and again, I think it also comes down to people like to just hang out in the world. It's not even like just looking for stuff. Sometimes it's just like being in the world with friends.
Right. And I think that's and then I think that is a world preference thing as well.
Yes.
Because like as much as I like Final Fantasy's world, I don't like it as much as I like WoW's world.
Of course, yeah.
Like Azeroth is significantly more interesting to me.
Sure.
As a whole. Because it's like, hey, we got fucking orcs and space goat people from outer space and werewolves and fucking look at all this crazy shit and like, hey, one of our mounts is a motorcycle and there's actually like science that backs it up and just all kinds of stuff like that versus like, Final Fantasy very much feels like the world of all the Final Fantasy games into an amalgam.
Sure.
And that's great because fucking I used to love that series.
It's got all that stuff too, like in certain ways. Like it's just
in a very different way. Like
Sure.
in a very like if both of them steal shit from other fiction.
Of course.
A lot of shit.
You have to.
Final Fantasy steals shit from the Final Fantasy series as a whole, which is why shit like the motorcycles and the space travel exists. Versus like Warcraft steals shit from like Warhammer and fucking like all that kind of shit.
Right.
It steals a little bit from Lord of the Rings, steals a little bit from, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say that in the case of Final Fantasy's lore and storytelling, even if you like know Warcraft's lore and its quality, I think like maybe a third of it is as good or better than Final Fantasy.
Sure.
And Final Fantasy tells its story so much better.
Right.
Like so much better. And when WoW moved to that system, of course, it's when WoW does its worst story in like
God
a
damn
decade.
It.
It's fucking no, dude. Like, because like when I was playing through the Shadowlands leveling experience, I was like, oh, dude, this is really cool. Like, it's you like this is good. Like if you're not a lore head like me, where you're gonna go in and read all the in-game books and fucking fuck around listening to all these like ambient dialogue and all this other crap that you have to do to fully get them and do all the side quests, then this is awesome for you. But the problem is they do this linear narrative, and to be fair, the leveling experience portion of it was great. It was really good. It's just that all the lore and shit that comes from raids and everything, and the 0.1 and 0.2 patch is fucking garbage.
Jesus.
Oh
God.
Oh god, dude. No, I remember when like Pyro, who used to be a big lore YouTuber, fucking saw that like cutscene where you beat Sylvanas in the second raid, and he just like loses it. He just fucking loses his mind. Anyway, back to what you were saying though. So
here's what I'm just gonna say. I'm just gonna say real quick. World of Warcraft, I'm at like level 12 or something. I'm in I don't know what that area is.
Kol Tiras. You're in Kol Tiras.
Kol Tiras, that's right. Yep. Just gonna keep leveling until I hit 20 and then see how I'm feeling at that point. Because that's when you have to start paying.
The cool thing is you don't have to buy the game though. You just sub and then you have a full account.
That's nice. Yeah.
So
that is certainly an option. And then Final Fantasy, I played a little bit yesterday. We did a little. I pulled up a tier maker to decide because I keep jumping around with what I want to level, and it makes it so the leveling experience for every single job is I'm always at low level stuff, and like, God, I gotta stop doing this.
And it's awful because this is something that so WoW has a similar system where you can run old dungeons, except you keep all your skills.
Right.
And I'm just like, why can you please copy this? If I have to run another leveling roulette and get a level 16 dungeon where I have 3 abilities and it's the most boring fucking thing in the world, oh,
Right.
it
Yeah.
makes it just miserable.
So I mean,
And
like, when did they create that? Because that seems like something that's like they got to balance all of the new
when did
values.
Time Walking came out in it was either Mists of Pandaria or Warlords.
Okay, because they
So
have to like adjust all the values of those moves to be able to make it work and balanced in that new dungeon, so
but
you're not destroying it, right?
right, but like very similar to WoW, like they already do scaling. They already scale all your numbers. They just literally just don't give you abilities. And it's just so frustrating. It's just like, okay, you're already scaling my numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're already making it so my like Soul Eater, for example, doesn't one shot everything in this dungeon.
Right.
So why are you taking away my kit?
Right.
Like why?
It would be really
who
nice
is-
to have my whole kit because, like, I'm trying to level, so I'll do like leveling roulette, or especially if I'm doing like tank or healing, where I have a bit of anxiety handling those roles, I do lower level stuff,
Mhm.
and it would be nice to be able to have what I have unlocked available, so I can practice it and see what I can do with it.
Right, because like the people have brought up to me like, oh, it's not fucking it's like it's for the new players, so they don't wonder like, oh, why don't I have that ability? But like as someone who would like be a new player in that scenario, I'd be like, oh, cool, what level do I get that?
Yeah,
That would be my response. It
you
would
can look
literally
that
be
up.
like, yeah, oh, dude, what? Like for example, like if I saw a black mage light off like flare in a level like 18 dungeon,
Yeah,
and I was a new player, I'd be like, what the fuck is that?
yeah,
How the fuck do I get that? It's like, oh, you get it at level 48 or whatever.
right.
Oh, awesome, fucking dope. Okay, cool. Let's get there as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Like, so I don't get that mindset, and it's like, and it's you can still make it so new players are fucking like earn their skills at their current rate, which I already think is a little too slow.
it is slow, but yeah, of the problems that could be resolved, I think that's not at the top.
No. I actually think what would be a really smart move to do, that's a kind of a middle ground, is like, okay, if your first job is capped, then all alternate jobs can get all their stuff for their kit way earlier. Like I think that would be a really good middle ground. Because yeah, man, it gets really frustrating when I'm like leveling alts. Because it's that game in early levels for me was already really hard because I've played a ton of MMOs over the years, right?
Right.
And it's like, dude, I don't need to be babied on this. Like, you're good. I like give me everything. Give me the full like don't do it like at level 10, but like by the time I was level 50, like the black mage rotation is still just so unbelievably simple,
Right.
that like I'm just like, dude, I've leveled up 50 levels and I'm still just casting Fire 3 until I run out of mana and then do the fucking ice spells.
Right.
Like I've been telling people that in the case of black mage, I feel like it's not really fun or engaging until you're in like level 70, when you get foul and you start after managing Polygot.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that people have told me is like certain jobs, they're like leveling experience and everything. It's like they get their abilities at a nice pace that teaches them evenly, or it is very much what I've experienced over the past however many, like what I've been experiencing, which was with black mage, you go from like the easiest rotation I've ever seen like to like maximum galaxy brain level shit, and I'm just like, what? Why?
I've experienced that a number of times in leveling, just like, oh wow, this whole thing just changed. I was doing this whole setup, and then now, okay, we're all right, sure,
we're doing this now. All right,
fine. I mean, you experience that at like level 30 when they're like, here's your starting. Here's your class.
Job stones are so fucking stupid. It's
a relic of like older Final Fantasy 14, right?
Yeah, and I'm just like that's what it is, and it's just like they have to keep it, like they just can't fucking ditch it. So it's just like
it's
why?
rough. Yeah.
It's they can't just like be like, oh no, we outie. But like, fuck.
I mean, I imagine they could make something. I just don't know what it would look like.
Yes, they could. They could just be like, okay, all the stuff that's labeled Thorough Mage is now going to be Black Mage,
right?
And here you go.
Yeah.
Like everything. Yeah, you don't have.
At the very least, call it Black Mage. Just like, be done with it.
Yeah, like just because like I don't. And they get rid of a system which is like, oh, you can run stuff with without your job crystal. It's like, who's doing this? In fact, it actually creates problems for new players because I'll run low-level dungeons with like new sprouts, and like they won't put on their fucking job crystal.
Right, because I imagine some of them like you just don't know. You just don't know.
Oh,
when I first came in, the job stone thing was confusing to me.
Yeah, like coming from WoW is like, now WoW has its own complications with spec and talent trees, which like if you've never dealt with a system like that, it's probably intimidating as fuck, and if it's not intimidating as fuck, it's it's very much like, okay, most of the new people are not going to bother to make their own build because they don't understand how.
Right.
So they're just gonna end up, they're gonna end up doing their own thing, or they're gonna go look it up online anyway. So what's the point of the tree?
Yeah.
Unless unless you do what I do and what Stella does, which is, because Guild Wars has the most intense talent tree system I've ever seen.
Okay.
Like, it's crazy. Like, it's literally, I'm just like, holy fuck. Like, I'm like sitting here staring at this thing, just like, I feel like I need a PhD to build something with this.
Jesus Christ.
Because that game, gear doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Like, gear, like, the only thing that real benefits of gear are, like, it gives you, like, a bunch of utility stuff. And it gives you, because I've been playing Guild Wars recently, too. I'm over halfway to cap.
All right.
And the story just got finally good. But the thing is like, it's like in PvP, like gear doesn't matter. It's just all skill and like a little bit, and like how you use your utilities. And same thing with dungeons, like, because like in Final Fantasy and WoW, worst case scenario, like, okay, we got better gear, we're gonna fucking, like, we're all gonna get better gear and eventually nail it, right? Like, yeah. So yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so anyway, basically I did a little tier list of the jobs I wanted to try and get, because the big thing, I think we're both kind of doing the same thing, where we have we're going to level a tank, a healer, and at least one DPS, if not one of each type of DPS to cap in Final Fantasy 14. Which for me, I end up just like kind of going like, all right, which ones are start closest to cap? So
that's kind of what ended up happening with my healer. Like, it's gonna be Sage.
Yeah.
Because I have no interest in playing a healer. I just want it for the mentor status.
Well, and then so Sage, along with I think Scholar or
Scholar, they're the shield
healers.
Yes.
And from what I understand, that requires a little bit of knowledge about how the dungeons are going to run.
Well, yeah, because you need to know when to shield.
Right,
yeah.
Which is why I already have a white mage at level 51 from when I was first playing. So I'm just gonna
at that point you might as well just go with that. Yeah.
Yep. And then I got Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker starts at level 60, so I'm gonna level that. And then for my melee, Reaper starts at 70, so I'm doing that. and then my ranged is Dancer because that starts at level 60.
Yeah.
And I've been having fun with Dancer. I enjoy all of these to an extent, except Gunblade is you start at level 60 and you just have a number of skills dropped on you. And
that is very much a class where like I hope you like buttons.
Right, dude, they drop a lot right there. And I'm like, okay, as a non-tank person, I got to figure out, all right, yep, here's your single target stuff. I'll group that here. Here's my AoE stuff. I'll group that here. I got my buffs around here. I'm going to try and fit those in where I can. Just trying to remember where everything is. So that's gonna take some learning. And then I kind of just prioritized all my stuff from there. But that's kind of because 6.15, that patch is gonna be coming either, I think they said like either late this month or next month.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6.18, as of right now, is the patch that lets us play together. Finally.
Fucking please.
So,
please.
And once that happens, this channel blows up. I'm gonna let you know right now.
Big time. Like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be playing some Final Fantasy.
Because I still got a cap so the current game plan is to finish up Dark Knight.
Okay.
Which, man, it's I don't know fucking why this is my curse in MMOs. If I pick a class, it is almost always going to be a ginormous pain in the ass to play. Guaranteed.
The fact that
right with you.
One of your biggest gripes is the slow GCD, and then you picked Black Mage. That leveling experience must have been something.
Well, actually, it bypasses the GCD.
Well, eventually, right? Or does it start that way?
Well, no, in general, because the cast times are so long that you don't have to worry about it.
But you do have to stand still while you...
Yeah, it's just you have to stand still, which is fine. I don't fucking care. I played Frost Mage in Vanilla as well. You had to stand still there.
That's fair. Let me tell you, been leveling a Dancer. It's a good time. I'm just everywhere. I don't give a fuck.
No. But like, the long GCD, like that's actually been like that. I picked one of the two classes where that's not an issue because of that.
Right.
In fact, going to Reaper has been very fucking weird to press a spell and have to wait, not on a cooldown, but on the GCD to press another spell. Because Reaper has so little tools that are off GCD.
Interesting.
So yeah, and that's actually part of the reason where I'm actually gonna probably end up with 2 melee DPS because none of the tanks are off GCD. Sadly, it's just you're fucked. You just enjoy. It's slow. It's
gonna be a hell of a leveling experience.
Tanks are slow. It's just how it works.
Yeah.
In that game at least.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fucking GCD is so fucking long.
Right.
Because 2.5 seconds does not sound like a long time until you're trying to press skills back to back to back to back. That is basically what I will tell you.
Sure. As someone who's like this is the first game I'm at cap, like 90 red mage, I'm sure is very simple for MMO people, but for me it's like, all right, I'm pressing something all the time and I'm looking to see what I'm pressing next.
Right, and that also might just because you that might be the fact that it just has a bunch of off GCDs. I don't know the class.
There's a few. There's definitely some there's definitely a rotation and there's definitely a wait time, especially if your swift cast or whatever you're using like falters or whatever it's called. I'm forgetting the name of it. Acceleration. If acceleration fails and it doesn't proc something, then it's like, all right, now I got to figure out what I'm doing. But I got a 2.5 second cooldown time to figure that out. As someone who's getting used to playing at end game, not end game, but at level cap, it's appreciated.
Right, like yes, it's I can definitely see that, but coming from a game that
coming from WoW for years and years, I bet it's infuriating.
It's just so slow.
Yeah,
and like going back to WoW after playing Final Fantasy is like it makes it feel like the fastest fucking game in the world.
Right.
Like, because once you get into Final Fantasy, the GCD doesn't really feel bad, especially, and so far, with the exception of Reaper, it's the only one where I'm like, ugh, this feels rough.
Okay.
That's the only one where I've just been like, Jesus fucking Christ, please. You know, and even then, it just looks so cool that I'm kind of willing to forgive it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what ends up happening though, in the case of like, you know, of Black Mage, is because you have like my cast time is 2.3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So that means with all my itemization shit I've been doing for it, versus like a 2.5 GCD. So I only have a 2.5 second wait for my next skill.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually even slower than the WoW GCD.
Right.
Because the cast time is so long, or faster than the WoW GCD. I'm sorry. It's because the wait time is so long.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Black Mage is you just have to stay still forever.
Yes.
Put
down those ley lines.
Yes. You know, I actually was talking with Quinn and Anthony in the Discord about this, where we want to do a 4 Black Mage run of Extreme.
Sure.
We think it would be funny.
Yeah.
Just like they can't AoE all the ley lines.
Right.
And we'll see. I did see your thing on Twitter about asking somebody if they did a 3 Black Mage run. I was like,
and she's like, Jesus. Why would you do that?
why not you?
Like, why not? It's fucking like
stress these systems. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's have some fun.
And let's see how hard we can make it.
Yeah.
All the chaos.
So yes, it's very much a hard transition, I feel, for a lot of WoW players.
Yeah.
Especially because most classes don't start weaving off GCD until 50, 60, 70.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I've heard in the case of Summoner apparently doesn't get good until level 80.
Holy hell.
I don't feel Black Mage, you don't start doing your full Black Mage rotation until level 82.
Wow. Yeah.
Which has been my big crusade that I've gotten in a lot of fights with people over just like, you know, that being a rough time for and like,
God, no,
you know, but I'm also the person who's like, you know, you could trim some of this dialogue.
Yeah, okay. See, and I don't know if you're gonna win that argument ever.
No, I don't think I will.
Yeah. But it's worth a shot.
Which is fine. I will just, like, when they keep repeating the same point over and over and over again, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna fucking speed click through this,
sure,
real quick, and go about my day.
I pick my clicks. Sometimes sometimes I'm just sitting and enjoying the story, and sometimes like I'll read and it's like, oh, you're gonna make the same point. Okay, click.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally what I've been doing. And I'm just like people are like, how do you get through it so fast? And I was like, well, one, I read fairly quickly, and then two is like they're repeating the same point about this fucking dragon or this fucking war for the 1 millionth time, and bro, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so that and I think that's just a trait of JRPGs as is.
Yeah, sure.
So which is where they steal a lot of their shit from. So it's like that's a lost cause. This fucking GCD skill shit though. This is a fucking this is a hill I will die on.
Sure.
Now, like, imagine if the GCD was 1.
Good God.
Instead of 2.5.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I would die.
And all right. Let me add in a little thing for you. What if you added a ton of one-off utility skills?
Yeah. Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah. Like what if a mage could just encase himself in a block of ice and be completely immune to damage for 10 seconds? Yeah. Or like Final Fantasy actually does have a version of this next one, but it's for Reaper, which is what if you could teleport like, I don't know, 15 feet forward and like blink through a mechanic.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Or what if, like, I don't know, a summoner could turn a humanoid enemy into a sheep?
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
God bless polymorph.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, WoW steals a bunch of shit from D&D. So.
I mean, doesn't everyone?
Yeah. D&D and Lord of the Rings are the true ones who are being ripped off from all this shit.
Right. Yep.
So.
Yeah, for the most part.
I'm curious. Are you ever gonna give Guild Wars a shot?
Man,
it's free.
I know it is. Like, if I get to, like, after Final Fantasy, next on like my list of importance in terms of MMOs is World of Warcraft. Just because it's World of Warcraft. Destiny 2 it rides on that weird line where I almost like don't consider it. But
I'd like, yes, Destiny definitely has systems where you definitely could call it an ARPG versus an MMO.
Right.
I don't, but like Diablo's an ARPG, but I play it like an MMO.
I know it's asking a lot, but like, man, what would really do it for me is a bigger open world, not these like war zone areas in Destiny.
Yeah, I think that's an engine issue. I think that a big problem with Final Fantasy and WoW that funnily enough I don't think Guild Wars has nearly as much is like because the engines in Warcraft's case the engine's just 20 years old because it's a Warcraft 3 engine. And in the case of Final Fantasy, it's the fact that it's built on a pile of shit.
Right.
You know, it's you have these instances of just like, well, we want to do that and we can eventually do that, but we have to unfuck all our code first. So
yep,
you know, and Destiny has the same issue. Like so far, the only game I've seen so far that doesn't have as much of that appears to be Guild Wars. They appeared to build the game in a very flexible nature. So yeah, like I think that's what that is.
I think I'll check it out eventually.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Like I know Parker's really into it, and I'm like, this is where Parker and I's taste in MMOs is different.
Sure.
Because Parker gives no fucks about parsing or high scores.
Right.
That is not what he is about in any way, shape, or form. Versus me, where I'm, you know, when I was doing Lost Ark, I was just like, I must be the highest item level. the number goes bigger, baby.
Right. Yep.
It's a miracle I didn't get addicted to gambling living in Nevada.
Yeah,
it
right.
Really is.
Yeah.
I think I just saw so many cautionary tales from within the city.
Well, that's the thing is you get near a casino and there's someone out there saying, "Can you help me? I lost all my money." And it's like, "Oh,
yeah."
Okey-doke.
So instead, I chase fake money and fake rewards.
And then when we're at casinos, we play the penny slots and get drinks.
Yeah, exactly. God, that was one of the best memories of Vegas. To be fair, I won $10 off of like
that Super Jackpot game. We started working Super Jackpot. That's what it was called, and we got like $20 out of that.
$20 out of like $1 between the both of us. It was fucking awesome.
I went back later. I found one of those machines in Reno, and it was not giving as much. I think we just got
lucky. Like we were there right time, right place.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. And for those of you that like this MMO chat, we're in the process of filtering this into its own show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to aim it for a Tuesday or a Thursday night.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out a good time for it, and it's for everyone involved. So we're also trying to get Ninja involved. We're trying to get Anthony involved.
Yeah.
So we're figuring out, we're getting schedules sorted out. But once we do that, this will become a much more concentrated show and does not dwell long on MMO stuff.
Yes, because I've heard it from Cartbale, I've heard it from other people, like, hey, I like the podcast, but when you guys go on the MMO talk, if it's not what I'm playing or what I really care for, like, it ends up just being, like, I just fast forward through it.
Yep.
So
yeah, you're right. You guys are right. So we're gonna concentrate this. This will probably be a shorter show, but I think that'll be for the better.
Yes, which is fine. Yeah. I think that'll give us more time to go work on shit and timestamps and video posting to YouTube. Which, yes, I know I've been late this week and last week.
We're getting them out.
We're also missing some episodes on YouTube.
We're missing one now. Which, yeah.
All right. We'll get on it. We will get on it. But hey, a good way to talk to us about just video games in general, but also just talking to us about the channel and the podcast and what you like and what you don't, and what suggestions or whatever. We have a Discord.
We do.
Yeah.
We have a Discord,
and
we have some social media accounts. We do monitor those, though we are much more active in the Discord.
Yes. Your best bet for a response on.
Are none of these going?
No.
Great.
Ain't working.
They weren't working yesterday either.
I love how like every couple of months they just break entirely.
So good. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're gonna try and come up with a schedule for the MMO podcast, and so hopefully next week this will be a much more concentrated show that does not delve into, because man, we went off a couple times on MMO talk, because that's just what we've been playing. We need to
and yeah, like, and the thing is I'm gonna get into single player games soon. That I have Horizon sitting there. I want to play more.
Mm-hmm.
I got that $50 Amazon gift card, and I'm looking at Elden Ring. Like,
oh Lord, yeah.
So, especially because I hear it's the game of the year. So
until we find out what else is releasing this year,
Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield.
I was actually looking at our fantasy game critic.
Oh,
just
okay.
now.
Okay. Yeah.
There's still some stuff that's coming out this year, so.
All right. We're just in a dead spot right now. They blew their load way early, and now it's.
I mean, I've got a game that comes out this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah. Evil Dead comes out.
Oh, that's right.
Next Friday. Oh God. No.
Yeah.
Does it really come out next Friday?
This
May
coming
13th.
Friday or May 13th? Oh my God.
I'm gonna look at the fantasy critic real quick. We'll do a check-in.
A little quick check-in.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. The Super Friends. All right. So.
Because I imagine not much has changed.
No, not much has changed. You actually got a release in. Fun fact.
I did.
Lego Star Wars.
Oh right. Yes.
Yeah, that came out recently.
It did come out.
It's actually doing pretty good. I mean, it's a Lego game, so
yeah,
they're good. They're good games.
An 82, so it got you. It was a late pick for you, so it did get some stuff on the board for you.
I knew it would be. I knew it would be a solid.
Yes, that was a safe bet.
Yeah.
I will say my safe bet of Destiny, dude. I was not thinking an 88. I was like, God.
You were expecting
damn.
at least an 80.
I was expecting
maybe.
like at most like an 82.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, MMO expansions typically score in like the high 7s, low 8s. Like, I'll take a flyer on it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
But it got an 88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so looking at the fantasy critic, Emily has just 3 more releases for the year, and they're all going to be out by the end of June.
Wow.
So she will know what her total is and if she is screwed or not fairly early. Of course, she can always. I don't think she says you spent any of your money.
I have.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So you picked up Evil Dead. Currently, I've spent the most money. Jesse spent like $3 to get something.
Wow.
I don't know what?
I think it was Hollow Knight.
Yeah, he picked up the new Hollow Knight for $3.
Man.
But yeah, so I am the current front runner, followed by Emily. Aaron, you've not picked up anything, and you're just 1 point behind her. And then, at least according to their projections, Jesse is screwed.
Royally.
It's so...
We all know that can change.
Absolutely, it can.
But yeah, so Anyway,
so you can have a banging second half and just blow us right out of the water.
Yeah, like, you know, once again, if God of War comes out and Final Fantasy both make it out, that's going to be 30 points apiece, almost guaranteed.
Easy.
Right.
And then from there, you know, we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
All
right.
So, well, that's it, guys.
That's it.
Yeah, look forward to the MMO show soon. So this show will pare down to what it used to be. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Thank you. Follow us on our socials. Follow us on Discord. All that good stuff. And you have yourself a great day.
See you guys.
Bye. We love you.